諦めろ悪やからあんたらなんかじゃ束なってもかなわんクワバラクワバラクワバラ目にも止まらん速さくたばらんたまらん下がらん押し通すわがままそこだけには邪魔だ俺はもう一人のあなたサラちゃんカヤちゃんワンサカ読みの国ワンダラご祈祷中になんだが4時44分もあったら4尺4分4分様がカメラジャパンから呼ぶ声がしたんならもう一人お疲れ様や入れた入れた入れた入れた入れた石で吐いてた先で霧は晴れた猫と僕がうまく噛み合ったら痛みが重なったら心から頭みなぎってゆくなんだか背中に今羽が生えたならば暗闇からさらば飛び立ってゆく体心から頭懐かしい暖かさ足元に今花が咲いたならば暗闇からさらば飛び立ってゆく体何度だって生きるお前や君の中またの裏や耳の中胸の奥についてるメロディーリズムに
Yes, I did see that they released some new antagonists, and I don't know why a lot of y'all are stupid enough to think that those antagonists are going to be the main antagonists of that game. Like, bro, I'm looking at that, and I'm thinking, yes, these are going to be part of the chapter. I don't think these are going to be the main villain. And the fact that people thought it was proves to me that y'all don't really, I ain't going to say you. It says a lot that people really didn't pay attention to anything regarding that game. And I'm kind of mad. I can't see my YouTube chat because we're multi-streaming again. It worked so well the last time. Why not try it again? Except this time, I can't see my YouTube chat. It's not good. It's not good. I don't like it. I don't like it. Where is it? Why can't I see it? I can't see it. I don't like that I can't see it. Testing. I mean, you don't have to test anything. I see you. Oh, there it is. I see it now. I see it now. It's all good. It's all good. I knew you were there. I just couldn't see it via my thing. A random Leon stream? I don't think it's very random. I think I'm just here for the vibes. You know what I'm saying? There's a sucker born every minute. Oh, yeah. Speaking of suckers, I'm part of that sucker category. You know what I'm saying? I'm part of that sucker category. So before I get into my meat and potatoes, I just want to I just want to take a minute to say hello. But I also want to just, I have a problem. I have a problem, and I don't think anybody else is going to say it out loud, and I don't care who ends up seeing this. I don't care if nobody sees this. I'm going to say what I got to say, and then when it becomes more of an issue, I could just lie to myself and say that I was the first person to say it. As you all know, I am somebody who has loved NCAA 25. No, I'm not calling it that communist name, college football 25. It's NCAA 25. And I've loved the Road to Glory. I've loved Dynasty. I love playing my friends and whooping on them. But as somebody who never touched Ultimate Team in any of these games, not Madden, not 2K, none of them, this is the first time I put my hands into Ultimate Team, and I have thoroughly enjoyed it. Yes, I put a couple dollars into it, clearly, as you can see. Like, you're not really going to play this game mode unless you put money into it. Yeah, you got those people who claim they grind, but let's be honest. We all know they're lying just a little bit. But I want to draw y'all attention to something in my echelon of cards, because if you look very closely, you might be able to see Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, and Justin Jefferson. These were part of some homecoming set that they put in, I think, last week. And in that set last week, on top of dropping these base level cards, Justin Jefferson, Joe Burrow, and Jamar Chase, they dropped another card that's somewhere in my library. He's right there, Joe Burrow. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, y'all put in these base level cards to get us to play that one game mode so that we could get a bunch of coins so that we could upgrade these cards to at least be, I believe, a 99. Like, back at the Bayou, you play the games, you play the game modes. I think it's called Back at the Bayou. And if you go to the rewards, You get the cards, you get the tokens. Now I've got 9 wins, and I was thinking to myself, all right, this is a good game mode. All right, this could be something that get me to be playing this. But then last night they announced this. They announced that Justin Jefferson at a 91 overall is gonna be in the game at I think like 1 o'clock my time. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, what's the point? What's the point of me grinding in the game if you're just gonna drop the card and I know it's gonna end up being in the auction house? What's the purpose here? You wasted time. You got so many other college athletes that's balling right now. You giving me, I ain't gonna say has-beens because they in the NFL, or at least Justin Jefferson in the NFL. So I'm not about to sit here and disrespect the game that Justin Jefferson got on the field. But what's the fucking point? Why are you giving me an upgraded card a week after dropping the card and wanting me to grind so I could boost that 82 to an 89? There's no point to it. Actually, there is a point to it. Money hungry. And look, I'm going to be honest with you. If you look at the top right corner, I got 1 million currency. So it's like if Justin Jefferson dropped, I'm going to be able to get him. I'm going to be able to get him by not spending money and just like preserving all my coins. So it's going to benefit me in the long run. But what I'm going to need from EA is if you want people to keep coming back and not criticizing your game, add more characters. I don't even think this is like a legend variety. Just add more players that are in these games balling out week to week, instead of just waiting for a random moment to be like, hey, we're just gonna give y'all the same card but upgrade it so you can give us money. We know this is money hungry, but stop making it so fucking obvious and put Cam Newton in the fucking game. Damn. And also fix crossplay with squads, because why have I gone like 3 weeks not being able to squad up with my homies on the Xbox? Like, fix that. Fuck you, fix all this, please. Just get that done, and we'll be square. Still a good game, still love the game, but fix the fucking issues like we don't notice them. Hey, I hate it. I hate it. And yes, I'm gonna make that into a video on my own time. That I'll be putting that over here on my YouTube channel just for the sake of the fucking conversation. Because I love the game. I don't care. Like, it's a fun game. Look at this. Look at the lineup. Look at the start. Look at the start. This ain't the starting 5, but look at like my top 5 players in terms of abilities and what I have like the upgrades on, bro. Like, come on. Like, can't say I'm not on this bitch to be on this bitch. I'm grinding on this bitch. Like, no, bad. And Dan to Dan came out yesterday. So, like, all around yesterday was a good day. Hold on, shut up. Don't play again. It was just like all yesterday felt like just a pretty good day. It just felt like a pretty good day. And you know what? That's the hallmark of a good day. When things just go a certain way, I'm proud to have a good day. I got mad that I was saying something to my partner and he heard me typing on my keyboard and he was like, damn, you write me up? It's like, fuck y'all. It's not my fault. I like the sound of the clickety and the clackety. And then that. And then we go on about SH grab is accurate. I mean, you probably meant to say cash, but you spelled it wrong. Leon got that secretary keyboard. No, I don't. I really just have like a basic ass wireless keyboard. Like that just I don't even know if y'all can hear this shit, but just like that's all I do. My bad. I in like the seventh or sixth grade, I learned how to type and I fucking got my shit like my bad. It's just you know what I'm saying? I got a fixation for this. Now look, before we get to the tactical keyboard or something else, it's a keyboard. It's a keyboard. It's a keyboard. Like, what do you want from me? Who's bothering me? Oh, it's my Ring app. It's my Ring app. How many A's did you just type? That's my answer to you. That's my answer to you. That's my answer. That's how many A's I typed. Now, obviously, I want to watch this Kamal video. I became a member so that I could watch it early, so I hope he doesn't try to sue me for showing it to you all for the free, you know what I'm saying? But I want to I want to illustrate to y'all why I love inclusivity so much, because people don't listen to me. People don't believe me when I say inclusivity is awesome. Having a lot of people involved in something is amazing when it's put in the right hands. When it's not put in the right hands, you get people, thinking that swastikas are somewhat cool and accepting. A Seattle area elementary principal sparked outrage when she bizarrely claimed not all swastikas are bad in a letter calling for the inclusivity of cultural symbolism. As you can imagine, it was a white woman. And, as somebody who's just trying to figure out the world more and more, I'm struggling to always understand how people think everyone's going to get along with this weird mindset of everyone just gather around, take hands, and just love our inclusivity. Because, madam, you don't scream inclusivity to me. You scream, I really love black porn. And you know what? Mazel tov to you. But everybody else is not going to be on board with the swastikas. As a school committed to inclusivity and cultural understanding, we want to ensure that our students from all backgrounds feel welcome, valued, and celebrated. We also want to make sure our community is educated about the diverse meanings and histories behind symbols like the swastika, so that we can all avoid misunderstandings that could inadvertently marginalize or hurt our students. Part of me could understand that if it wasn't for the overwhelming, glaring issue of the history of the swastika. Because maybe somebody out there is going to say, there was actually a moment in time where the swastika didn't mean what it currently means in almost everybody's mind now. And it actually meant to form a P. That's cool. But now it means something totally different. And it doesn't speak to inclusivity. It doesn't speak to celebration. It doesn't speak to feeling welcome. It speaks to a lot of bad. Her follow-up email infuriated parents who said the swastika clearly represents hate in its current context, vandalism. To me, it's the most warped version of inclusion we could come up with, to ask Jewish families in this day and age to be tolerant of the swastika. I believe the principal should resign. It just creates a trust issue. I don't know how we can trust an educator who can't recognize a call for violence from a call for peace to be educating our children. Yeah, a lot of people don't seem to understand that. A lot of people think if you tattoo that black fist to your chest, you somehow want to save all black people. Some black people gonna look at you and think you a little bit fucking ignorant, because you're not really speaking towards peace. You're speaking towards benign ignorance. But hey, I guess white saviors can't ever tell the difference. I guess they can't ever tell the difference. Do y'all remember when old Trumpa Wumpa Crumpa Dumpa and his running mate Vance were running around talking about immigrants eating y'all cats and dogs? There seems to be a problem. Donald Trump and his running mate JD Vance have made news for Donald Trump and his running mate JD Vance have made news for spread the dehumanizing you see, this is why you don't trust black journalism. Cause what is this? What no. So basically, because I'm not about to deal with broken English, I'm not dealing with broken English. A fucking group of Haitians decided, hey, we're going to press charges on y'all. And I'm going to assume the original charges, which were filed in the Clark County Municipal Court by Gurlin Joseph on behalf of the national nonprofit, included disrupting public service, making false alarms, committing telecommunications harassment, committing aggravated menacing and violation, committing aggravated menacing and violation, the prohibition against complicity. The new requested charge, including panic, as reported by the Springfield News Sun, it hails from Trump and Vance making up lies about Haitian immigrants with full knowledge that claims were false. It also says that the men knew their words were calculated to stir alarm and emotional distress in the community. It's consequences, and you know what? However it turns out is how it turns out. We shall all see how this plays. I don't think I'm gonna say this now. As somebody who views that entire ordeal as something stupid and will be one of the first things people look at if Trump loses this fucking election, I don't see this standing and getting as far as people want it to get. I think that this is just going to be in the moment. And people are going to get all excited, but it really isn't going to go anywhere. I really don't think it's going to go anywhere, honestly. But speaking of not getting far enough, on another episode of Women Chose the Bear for a Reason, Piss Bandit, who taunts locals with urine bottles labeled HIV positive, is California's #1 menace. Look at the picture. And look at this picture. Listen, bruh. Listen to me, bruh. This is no. This is a whole lot of no. This is a whole lot of no. I don't even want to read the rest of this. I made the mistake of reading something. The Piss Bandits sometimes strike multiple times a week. So look, ladies, I'ma never be against y'all picking the bear. Y'all had a reason. I'm happy for y'all. I'm so happy that y'all had a reason, and I'm glad that y'all keep the reasons alive. Why did my fucking own thing delete this thing? What is this? One message deleted. Why? What was it? Like how they tried getting people in trouble for memes? What? Oh, I think this is because this motherfucker put this dot into it, and they perceive that to be a link. Oh no. So look, Shadow Crisis, if you're gonna type something, don't add like that period on it because it might have induced it as a fucking link. And my bot owned is gonna get rid of you for that. Fat fingers, lose the weight. But boy, this is no, I don't like any of this. I don't like any of this. Also, it's like I don't want to make another video. I don't want to make another video about this fucking lady until she ends up just like out of office or in jail. I get tired of talking about every week when this lady does something dumb. Like I'm just waiting for the bombshell. Like they've kicked her out and they escorted her into the police car and she drives off into the murky night going to jail. Like it to me. Continuously seeing more things about this lady just invites me to question an entire town. And I just want to see all the campaign. I need somebody to find me all the campaign videos. I want to see her campaign to be in this position. But she's being evicted. Henyard was named along with her boyfriend, Kamal Woods, terrible name, in an eviction notice filed in Cook County. The notice regards Henyard's rental home on the 1400-600 block of South Harvard, in which she had been a tenant for the past 3 years. The property owner claims Henyard and her boo thing, I hate the root, are behind $3,300 in rent. The notice also says Henyard refuses to allow property inspection. Kick her out. You know they got a video of somebody saying, you know what we need to start doing now that all these port workers are on strike? We need to go on strike and stop paying all this rent. And it's like, you know what? Maybe back in the day this could have worked, but now that these property managers don't really fuck with y'all and they could call the police on y'all and get y'all out of there like they've been doing for a lot of people who refuse to get off their fucking property, yeah, bro. That shit not gonna fucking work. So I'm gonna need them to just like call the police, get her the fuck up out, whatever house she in, and then kick her the fuck out. And that's really all I need in order for her to actually not be able to live wherever the fuck she living at. Because if she behind on $3,000 worth of rent, yeah, bro, kick her the fuck up out of there. Just plain and simple, cut the print, and that's all we really fucking need. I'm gonna clip all this shit and just put it on this channel. I'm not about to waste my energy on no full-fledged video. Cause I think I said the last time, like, this bitch, you just talk, like, every week is something new. I'm just waiting for she's finally lost it all. And I want her to, this whole thing has just been a Disney arc. This is like older 2000 shit. This is like early 2000 shit on Disney Channel. The evil, corrupt town leader making the town worse, and then the town fights back, and then they kick her out. I'm just waiting for that part. How did the Super Mayor thing come about? Oh, because she said it. She did a video where she was like, hey, it's me, Superman. And she did a hand sign, which was eerily similar to a certain mustached individual's hand sign, but it's like, I feel like she only did that, like, not even on purpose. I feel like that was just her trying to, like, wave. Like, I feel like that was just news about her just trying to wave, you know what I'm saying? Remember the news about the principal who got caught stealing thousands of dollars worth of chicken? Oh, Lord. She did the Superman flying pose. No, she didn't. I know you had confidence in her, but no, she didn't. She did not do that. What is this?
I hate graphics.
Okay. We're just going to put you right there. And we're just going to go there. Wait, what am I doing? Bam, 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 bam. Please tell me there's not an update about this fucking lady. Because all I remember is she got 9 years. And you know what? I ain't going to sit here and say like 9 years is deserved. But damn. but like, dead ass, damn. Ain't anything else we could have did in this exact moment. We literally had to do this. We had to go the route of just being like, yeah, you know what we going to do? Steal $1,000 worth of chicken, bro. $1,000 worth of chicken. Was that needed? Leon, I went to go see Joker 2 yesterday. It wasn't great. The movie was fine up until the ending. Well, look, as somebody who decided against it and just wanted to see all the people talk about the spoilers, I'm glad I didn't waste my $5 to go see that movie at a 25% off price. I would have been very upset wasting $5 to see that. And since the movie's out now, there's no harm in saying it, Joker's killed at the end of the movie, or at least the guy we perceived as Joker for all this time. And he's killed by someone who we perceive as going to be the Joker maybe in the future Batman movies if they do it. But I just think it sucks. Where's my headphones? Baby, 1, 2, where are you? Like it just wasn't. It wasn't a good experience for me. Like I liked the first movie. I loved the first movie. I somewhat related to that scene at the end, with the exception of the one part. And I'm just like, bro, a sequel. I'm not one of the people that's like, a sequel wasn't necessary. I enjoyed the fact that we were getting a sequel, but now that we got it, it's just like, never mind. I changed my mind. I don't want a sequel anymore. I don't want a sequel anymore. I think it's terrible. I don't want it. I don't want a sequel anymore. So look, y'all know it's about to happen, so you might as well just go ahead, get ready. I gotta play Fall Guy. I'm not about to play college football while I play this. Oh, I must hide myself. Be gone. We put too high of expectations for a sequel. I didn't. I just, was excited for it. I learned from the straight to DVD Disney sequels to not really get too excited for sequels and just, prepare for potential disappointment. Sometimes I'm surprised. Other times I'm reminded why I should probably never be surprised at things that occur in these types of games, But without further ado, Kamal has been. When was the last time Kamal even uploaded? I think Kamal hasn't uploaded in I'm going to argue 2 months, which is terrible because he was on the rise to his 100K and then he disappeared. It's been 2 months and his last video got 1 million views. Bro, I don't know if you're watching this now or if you're just looking around, but you got all the fucking tools in the world from editing to personality and you got some good looks to you. Don't tell him I said that. Don't tell him I said that. You're going to get a big head about it. And he already got that fucking head. You watch the Penguin Show. I've told y'all numerous times I only watch things that I would enjoy. You know what you should all go watch? You should all go watch Actually, never mind. Because that first episode, that first episode lined up with everything going on with Diddy. Yeah, never mind. Actually, don't go watch that. Never mind. Y'all ain't got. I need it. Stitch's dance. Oh my God. Oh yeah. This is the type of shit we love. This is the type of shit where memories are made. I done completely forgot what I was supposed to be doing here. Come on.
Candace Owens is the black white supremacist.
Great way to start. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Men, 6% of the population.
Hold on, I need a drink. What a great way to start. Looks like she has a man face filter on. Jesus Christ. Why are we all so negative? What's with the negativity? You know what's crazy? They had a motherfucker sit here and tell me, you talk a lot of shit about conservatives on your streaming channel. And it's like, just tell me you don't watch this channel. That's all you gotta do. Just tell me you don't watch the channel, bro. Just tell me you don't watch it. That way we could all just get along knowing that you don't watch it and that you got people you favor that you get mad when people talk about. That's all. Because if you can't handle it, I don't even know how you got here. I necessarily don't even know how the fuck you even got here. Because I'm a motherfucker that's multifaceted. I'm going to make fun of every fucking body I see. Oh, look, and I'm going to be first. I said I'm going to be first. Fuck you. And listen. If you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. This ain't an echo chamber. I don't have an echo chamber. Hello, Leon. What's the topic of the moment? Where were you 5 minutes ago? The topic was somebody throwing piss bottles at everybody. Now we watching a Candace Owens video. And you know what's crazy? Do you know how many motherfuckers egged Kamal on to make this video? Me included. Me included. You really don't? I really don't what? The thing about me is, I don't give a fuck about none of y'all sides. Y'all sides suck. And every time y'all try to explain why y'all sides are perfect, y'all prove to me why they suck. Case in point, the video I but the video I recorded last night because a certain leftist, or presumed leftist, whatever the fuck, has denounced her leftism. And motherfuckers are mad. But it's her reasonings are fucking terrible. Because she's basing it off of the schizophrenic weirdos on the internet. So it's why? But you might see it today. You might not. I don't know. Depends on how I feel. Come on.
Account for 44% of all murders in this country.
And as hilarious and insane as that is,
I can't stand this motherfucker. I can't stand this motherfucker, bro. So why?
it's not even the most backwards thing about her.
Amen.
I've never in my life seen someone so willing to throw their own under the bus for a group of hateful morons that obviously don't respect them.
Brits invading Africa actually represents, and this is going to get me in trouble, it ended up being a net positive.
So I've spent the past 2 months torturing myself watching her god-awful content, trying to figure out why she chooses to be like this. And I found a lot. Most of it is hilarious, but all of it is kind of fucked up.
Black Americans do not know how to resolve basic conflicts. Everything has to turn into a fight. I hate you forever. You gotta draw lines. It's like you're this gang or that gang.
For the blessed few of you who don't know, Candace Owens is a far-right political pundit. She's been on Fox News a bunch of times. She's worked with political organizations like Turning Point USA and the Daily Wire.
Beat it up, N-word. Catch a charge.
Where she had classic segments like Why I Used to Support Gay Rights and my personal favorite, Juneteenth is Ghetto and Made Up.
This holiday is ghetto and, in fact,
Made up.
Candace, all holidays are made up. That's how they work. See, when Candace first came on the scene, the racist Republicans loved her because she was saying publicly all the hateful, fucked up shit they've been saying privately for years. And she got to say it on the biggest news network in the country under the guise of helping her own people.
Victimhood has become almost a mental plague upon Black America in particular.
I gotta give it to the Repubs. Their plot was genius. The only issue was that their DEI hire is a moron.
He sounds like every black comedian impersonating a white guy. No. He sounds like Kamal.
I'm not a flat earther. I'm not a
Round earther.
Because Candace is constantly saying shit that's not just borderline evil, but just factually inaccurate. And she's proven that with the way she processes information, she's only gonna get more and more unhinged. Let me explain.
why would a black person want to
Leon's pro at Fall Guys. Of course I am.
report racistly on another black person?
If there's one thing we can count on,
What's the appeal with all streamers getting an on-air sign? So look, when you say that, are you including me? Because I'm a streamer and I don't have an on-air sign. And also, it's a cool fucking aesthetic. It is a cool fucking aesthetic, right? I mean, oh, I turned my camera off. Never mind. I turned my camera off. I was going to prove my point, but, you know.
on Candace Owens to do is to say a bunch of dumb shit that's obviously wrong. Like saying with a straight face that the NRA was created to help defend black people against the Klan.
I know that the NRA was started as a civil rights organization, training black Americans to arm themselves and defend themselves against the KKK.
Now that does sound like the plot to an excellent Denzel Washington movie, but unfortunately, it's not real. The truth is that the NRA was created by a group of Union soldiers who discovered during the Civil War that they couldn't shoot for shit. So they started a little gun club to focus on their aim. Nothing to do with saving black people. But I'm sure that's a cute little story to tell your ignorant ass fans to make them feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Or the time Candace said this ignorant shit about her own ancestors.
Slaves built this country, slaves built this country, slaves built this country. Everything that we have, we owe to slavery and slaves, and this is an argument for reparations. We've heard this nonsense over and over again from people who've never bothered to open a history book, or maybe they have actually. Maybe it's because they've opened history books in school that they learn this garbage nowadays. Actually, I would say it is because they open history books that they learn this garbage.
Did you
You know history is doomed to repeat itself? You know how many people, when I made that video about them stupid motherfuckers talking about the people who deserved a hurricane, you know how many of them motherfuckers didn't know where sundown towns are? And it's like, you sat there When I'm hearing motherfuckers not know what sundown towns are, I'm just thinking to myself, damn. We really need to fucking we really need to put more money into the education system. I couldn't find this video on his YouTube channel. That's because it's behind the members wall. And I'm probably not even supposed to be showing you this. But I feel like I won't get in trouble for it. So look, and for all of you who are claiming you don't know, you all are aware that this country, America, is a real racist country back in the fucking day. Like a real racist. Not like it is now, where it's just like, oh, man, oh my God, dude, somebody said the N-word. No, a lot of motherfuckers was hunting black people back in the Dizzy. And in certain towns, some low-down towns, some popular towns, if you were black and you were out when the sun was down, there was a chance, that you weren't going home. You were going to be dead. Why? Oh, because, back in the day, it wasn't really acceptable for black individuals to be out and about. Kind of hard for them to be out and about. There's a whole laundry list about sundown towns. I implore any of you who is interested, go ahead and traumatize yourself with that one. Because when I had to learn about it, boy, was I afraid to go outside for a while. I wasn't even afraid of white people. I was just terrified to go outside. This sounds familiar. I probably forgot. Yeah, because your education is piss. America's education system is piss, and motherfuckers want to take money out of it. It's just like, motherfuckers are dumb. It's not a good idea. That's not a good idea. A lynching town? Well, it's more cool to say sundown town. We'll keep your secret. Oh, no. I'm not doing a good job keeping my secret. I added the motherfucker, so he'll probably see that I'm live right now. I learned about sundown towns in 7th grade. I learned about it in 4th grade and continued to learn about it as I went into schools. You know what I'm saying? Because, Black History Month is the time when you do learn about a lot of this shit, Black History Month is when you learn about all this shit, I don't even know. What game mode is this? Like I don't even know what I'm playing. I think I'm playing some shit where I'm supposed to avoid this alien invasion going on, but it's just like, I don't even think I can avoid it per se. Why is my mother calling me? I didn't even know. Oh, God. I think I'm about to die. Oh, in 7. What happens in 14 seconds? Do we keep playing? I don't know. I don't know what occurs if we keep playing. I'm doing this out of the random cuff of the moment. 3, 2. Does it end in a draw? Okay. I guess it does. Or it doesn't. Oh, I won. I think. Oh, well. I feel complete knowing that I won. I feel complete knowing that I won. Now, come on.
You notice how in real time she went from it's because they don't read history books to maybe it's because they do to no, it's definitely because they do read history books. Watch out for people who do that because they're usually fucking stupid.
I actually had, Mediaite, whatever that website is, write an article hit piece on me for telling the truth about the history of slavery by saying that the majority of people did not have slaves. Obviously, a very small fraction of uber wealthy people had slaves, people that were fighting the Civil War. It was a poor man's fight and a rich man's war. They were not fighting to keep slavery in place. They didn't have slaves.
To correct her ignorant ass statement, it wasn't some small group that owned slaves. When you consider the amount of people that either owned slaves or were part of an immediate family that owned slaves, the percentages are more like 30 to 50% depending on the state. Also, I know you're not supposed to say slave anymore, so I'd like to make a formal apology to my mother.
I completely fucking forgot. Oh, I muted myself. My mother called me. I forgot. My bad. I just said a whole fucking thing. My bad. So look, we're going to do that again. I think the school system should be changed drastically. Yes. Funny thing, America isn't as racist as it once was. That's correct. But if you go to some parts of Asia and you travel back into the 60s, that is also correct. Well, don't worry. My bad. But whose mother?
You consider the amount of people that either owned slaves or were part of an immediate family that owned slaves, the percentages are more like 30 to 50% depending on the state. Also, I know you're not supposed to say slave anymore, so I'd like to make a formal apology to my mother and Kendrick Lamar. I'm sorry.
Obviously, we all know slavery was abhorrent. It was an abhorrent practice all over the world. Did not begin in America, and actually did not begin with white people, right? It still goes on today, and it is black and brown people that keep those institutions up. And actually, white people were the first people to end the institutions of slavery.
That's so wonderful. That doesn't erase anything. Candace.
France, the United Kingdom, followed by America. We were the first to put an end and to abolish slavery. So
Congratulations.
My God, what a shocker that she's completely wrong again. First of all, dumbass, Haiti was the first country in the Americas to ban slavery, which they did in 1804. History lesson. And the truth is that America wasn't one of the first countries to ban slavery. It was actually one of the last. Every single country on screen right now banned slavery before the US did. Maybe you should pick up one of those history books so you can refrain from humiliating yourself. I don't know if they teach this on PragerU.com, but these are the facts. I don't think anyone's trying to say that slavery is the sole reason for every single American accomplishment, but to act like it wasn't a huge factor of our country's success is just ignorant and a very weird thing to try so hard to deny, especially for a colored. But white people, don't feel excluded, okay? Because black history is just one of the many things Candace doesn't know shit about. Look at how this clown embarrasses herself trying to prove that Donald Trump single-handedly saved America.
Before I hear what I have to hear from Candace, I just want to establish that I need more people to, like, instead of consuming media from certain individuals, to just pick up books. There's books about a smorgasbord of your history that's accurate and will give you the details that you clearly want. I despise when individuals tell me, oh, you're wrong because I watch this YouTube channel. It's like the inclination that you really don't really look up anything. You just hope somebody solidifies your opinions about whatever the fuck you have as an opinion in the world. And, you know, happy for you or sad that's your existence. But in the real world, people like discover and look for information and seek the knowledge to want to have more information on. Did she say America or white people? I feel like she might have said America or white people. Either one. Also, nothing stopping Candace from being an author other than her being illiterate. I mean, you know how many motherfuckers are illiterate these days, and they get paid for it.
I think if Donald Trump did not win the election.
Hold on, let me check something. Ah, yes, my files are there. Okay, so when I'm done here, when I'm done with this stream, I could potentially upload that video.
We would have lost America. I genuinely
Lost it to who?
lost it. Like Hillary.
And I can't not bring up the fact that
I hate that. Like, I hate the random fear mongering about, oh, we've lost the country. They do that every fucking time. There's always gonna be like a collection of people who say, if this candidate wins, we're losing the fucking country. We didn't lose the fucking country during Trump. We didn't lose the country during Obama. Twice. We didn't lose the country over Biden, under Biden, over Biden, whichever the word is. And no, I don't think we're going to lose it if Trump wins again or if Kamala wins. Do I think a lot of stupid shit's going to happen? Yep. But that's going to happen regardless. That's going to happen regardless of who becomes the president, because let's be honest, this country's full of some dumbass shit. And dumbass shit that hurts. Hurts the brain, hurts the soul, hurts it all. And you know, sometimes it's funny, other times it's concerning. And I do end up concerned about my fellow Americans and how they interlock themselves with information. You know, because I want you all to be smarter than what you are. Because when you're smarter, you're helpful. When you're dumber, you're a YouTube video for me.
Donald Trump, her angelic leader, is the one who incited an insurrection against the government. But we're gonna lose the country to Hillary Clinton. I know he hadn't done it at this point, but I'm still gonna bring it up because it's insane.
Do I believe in climate change? No.
Okay, but this is an incredibly complicated subject.
Right.
And if you would have to
Both sides do this? Yeah, no shit. You know what both sides also do? Pretend that the other side is the only one that does it.
talk to a bunch of different scientists and see how they gather data, have you done all this, or
No,
do you
so I
take
think-
this flippant opinion
No,
based
listen,
on the
I'm
party
not. This is
line?
not. This wouldn't be the hill I died on, right? But it's not about the part. I just genuinely, I've read a ton about it, but
What
I
have
would
you
not be
read?
able to. I would not be able to come to you and say like, this is my strong opinion.
Okay, so you refuse to give any credence to something that 97% of scientists and most people in the world believe in. Then you say, I've read a ton about it, but can't like say my strong opinion. Hey, Candace, purveyor of truth and seeker of knowledge, if you don't know why you believe in something, and that belief is in opposition with almost every single human being that's ever researched that topic, how about next time, instead of bringing up your ignorant ass opinions on the biggest platform in the world, you instead shut the fuck up? I'm Kamal and I approve this message. But honestly, what more should we expect from a grown woman that says unironically that they have left the cult of science?
I am somebody who has left the cult of science. I have left the mega church of science.
It's almost impressive to say something that objectively stupid. Almost.
Because what I have now realized is that science, what it is actually, if you think about it, is a
pagan faith.
Holy shit, and it just keeps getting worse by the second. Pagan faith?
Leon, do you believe in climate change? Anyway,
I honestly don't think she could have picked worse words to describe science. Because there is zero faith in science. Kind of the whole point. For something to be scientific, it means it has to be able to be proven and repeatable. But I'm sure the more she talks, the more sense she's gonna make, right?
is a pagan faith. I'm gonna give you an example of exactly what it is I'm talking about.
In case you think you disagree.
A woman tweeted this. You may have seen me retweet this over the weekend. Her name is Beth. She wrote this. Years ago, I was assured that an IUD was safe, effective, and could be removed at any point if I decided on having more children. It was FDA approved, after all. Ovarian cysts, surgery, infections, a week in the hospital, and infertility. That was what they meant by safe and effective.
So your evidence to prove that IUDs are not 99% effective and that all the statistics and science behind it are a lie is a random tweet from 4 years ago. Got it. And I'm not even saying you're wrong. Well, I mean, I kinda am, but let's be real, I'm not gonna be Mr. Know-It-All when it comes to women's birth control. But I'm sure that we can all agree that a tweet with 0 likes from Beth_EK probably isn't the best evidence out there to prove that we've all...
people do treat science as religion. next to anything is viewed as a religion to some people. Like even your fucking precious Christianity, which has various plot holes in it. What plot holes does Christianity have? The fucking pedophile priests that sit in there that you motherfuckers just conveniently ignore for the sake of doing it. The scam artists who operate church is nothing more than a money-hungry institution.
Been indoctrinated
I'm lurking and working on candle stuff. Everybody go buy a candle for the gaming witch!
into the cult of science.
I am grateful for having gone through the school of hard knocks because you are required to have an element of common sense in order to survive. And when I look at people and they hold on to, but the doctor said this, but the expert said this.
Listen, I am no expert, no physician, no psychiatrist, none of that. But who do you think I'm going to listen to? You? Candace Owens? Or the doctor telling me that I have severe damage to the body? There's options here. There's options. I got options on who I could be listening to. But you know, I think I'm gonna trust the doctor. The doctor has my best interest in mind.
And I see how extreme the things that they will do. They were masking 2-year-olds because doctors said, no, this person, if they breathe, it's going to be a bad thing. Well, I realized that
That's a faith.
that is a faith and it is not a science.
What the
Andrew
fuck?
was saying, hey, let's look into this data a little bit more and find out how these stats are being created so we're not just blindly listening to every single person with a lab coat. I would be right there with you. But you're not saying that. You're saying don't believe anything these experts are saying because common sense. And if you thought using that tweet as evidence was dumb as hell, just wait until you see which one of her fake alpha male friends she brings up to teach us about the uselessness of math and science.
I know a lot of people feel
If I see Andrew Tate, I'm gonna stop this video and just like spend as much time as I want on how disastrous this is.
that they don't understand why he has the platform that he has. But I found this clip
To be extremely interesting.
One of my habits.
Fuck! Listen, I don't know what it is, but the reputation of Andrew Tate and the fallout of whatever happens to him is severely going to be a shot towards the credibility of Candace Owens. And the sad part is anybody who's like a diehard fucking fan of these individuals is not going to even think for a second the possibilities of, oh, maybe, just maybe, this motherfucker is actually not as good as he says he is. Because I'm sorry, I drastically refuse to join any of you who are alpha males in the discussion of the only reason this is happening to Andrew Tate is because he promotes masculinity. If that's the case, every red pillar would be on trial for something. But the reason they're not is because they don't have sticky fingers like Andrew Tate could presumably have. Now, it's still going on. Nothing's definitive, but it's not over. Motherfuckers have gaslit themselves into thinking, oh my God, this person said this key detail, so it must mean he's free and clear to go now. No. Not how that works, and I struggle to wonder who y'all get legal advice from because you might end up in jail forever. And ever. But bro, if this dude go to jail, ain't no amount of, oh my God, the Matrix is gonna make me say, oh boy, I believe you. It's gonna make me say, fuck. Hopefully Big Tyrone don't like bald people.
Now is ignoring all data. It's great.
I honestly feel like I'm in the movie Idiocracy right now, but with a worse script. Candace, you don't see any issues with using Andrew Tate, someone who made his money by getting kicked in the head and pimping women, to prove your point that science and data aren't real.
I just know things
Big Tyrone is not bald.
because I've just been around.
honestly, that is so relatable to me. I can't even explain it. I just know things because I've been around, because there are so many scenarios that I find myself in where I'm unable to articulate the point. I'm unable to articulate the natural reaction that I have when somebody tries to sell me
garbage.
This is the type of shit that leads to the end of civilization.
No, come on. This is the type of shit that gives us all brain aneurysms, which technically could lead to the end of civilization. Listen, I'm not. She knows things. Yeah, bro, I know things too. Not compared to a fucking doctor or a fucking physician or a surgeon or a heart surgeon, but I know things. Fuck, I know things too. This shit does this. No.
I know that sounds dramatic, but it's true. Don't believe the experts. What do they know? Oh, and definitely don't go out and do your own research. Just believe the opposite of what the smart people are saying, because common sense. How do you not see that this is going to a fucked up place? Putin is fully erect listening to this. You know that, right? Because people who refuse to do research, or at the very least listen to people who do research, are incredibly easy to manipulate.
Can't articulate it when somebody explains to me, well, the moon landings definitely happened because this, and the firmament, and they could get, and I'm just like, no, I don't know. Instinctually, it just doesn't register to me. It just feels like that is a lie.
So Candace, you've been around. Where is the knowledge of the moon? Help me out here. Where's the knowledge of the moon? Where's the knowledge of all the things that have to do with space travel, rocket ship making, oxygen preservation, all these things? These are things I would really want to know. Because you can't say, oh, I know things because I've been around. You can't promote that and agree with that. And then when asked, you essentially got nothing. And it's like, bro, I don't know. I believe that's what we in the streets call a dangerous game.
Well, I mean, you heard her say it. When people come to Candace with information and data and reasons for why things happen, Candace says, I just feel like, no. What do you even say to somebody who processes information like that? You have a...
This is the reason why, like, when people talk about the Tim Walz clip about misinformation and how he wants to censor people and how Kamala wants to censor people, I just look at it like, you are mad that somebody actually wants to punish you for the misinformation that you spread. That's all I get from that. Like, you are someone who spreads misinformation, and you are mad that someone out there now wants to punish you for spreading misinformation.
Belief. Someone who's been studying this belief says, oh no, you're wrong because this, and this, all just stats and facts. And Candace says, yeah, but like, no though, just no. This is also the woman that's constantly calling people delusional. Remember that.
I think the CIA and the Mossad are the exact same organization.
I'm sure it's not a total shock that someone with such a dogshit way of processing information would be prone to conspiracy theories, but even for conspiracy theorists, Candace's views are super fucked up.
If Hitler just wanted to make Germany great and have things run well, okay, fine. The problem is that he had dreams outside of Germany.
Like her obsessive...
La 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 la. This is how aneurysms start. Kamal might be right. This might be the end of me. Like, watching this might be the end of me.
Witch hunt of the First Lady of France, Brigitte Macron. See, Candace is 100% convinced that the First Lady, or whatever they're called in France, is actually a man.
The First Lady, Brigitte Macron, was actually born Jean-Michel. So Bridget is actually John Michael. John Michael lived as a man for 30 years, fathered 5 children, okay, and then transitioned at the age of 30 to become Brigitte.
Might I ask, if this is true, and I feel like Kamal's about to show me it's not, who cares? Oh, somebody transitioned. Oh, is it a child? No, it was a 30-year-old. Be gone.
Candace says she's willing to stake her entire professional career on this, so let's find out why she's so confident.
Okay, now I'm just gonna show you this before and after photo, just right here. They actually used...
Oh God, is this the same thing with the Michelle Obama thing? Wait a minute. This is the same thing with Michelle Obama where they like pull a picture of this motherfucker from back in the 60s and pull a now. Or they do like the fucking edit of putting a bulge on this bitch waist. what a rush. What a rush. And then people wonder why individuals don't really put too much stock in people. And then they wonder why doesn't no one take me seriously? Look what you do. Do I expect to be taken seriously? On occasion. But then other times, I just want to say dumb shit. But the dumb shit I say is just like, oh, look, a dick is on the ceiling and a dick's not on the ceiling. That's different from saying, yo, you know this motherfucker who I don't know? It's a transgender. You see, Ruin Leon was once a woman named Ruin Leon. Ruin credits. You're right. You know what's crazy? There was like one random moment where people thought I was a transgender because I once said I transitioned in 2018. And I let that shit permeate. I ain't explain it. I moved on to the next one, and motherfuckers was like, is he trans? And if I was, you would have never known. Because, you know, just a weird guy. Overall, just weird guy. Weird guy. I weird guy. I do weird. I weird. But you know what? I'm happy being weird, because you know what? My dick's bigger. So, you know, this is all it is. Who the fuck cares because they're lying? Also, that woman dated a 15-year-old Macron. What the fuck are you talking about? Because they're lying? Who's lying? Who are you telling me is lying? Hold on. I would pay attention, but I'm trying to clutch this fucking dub with my boy here. I'm trying to clutch this fucking dub. I would pay attention to the video, but I can't. I just gotta clutch this shit so fucking epically. I gotta make sure that everybody's aware that I'm clutching this shit so epically. I almost fucked myself. There we go. What's up, buddy? Stupid ass! If a head of a country is lying about something, so prove they're lying. That's what I'm gonna need. I'm gonna need you to like prove they're lying for me. Like if you could do that, I'm gonna still ask you who cares. I'm gonna ask you who cares because what does that do? Now that you know, or you say you know, let's work with it. Let's say the motherfucker is trans. Now what? Don't say who cares. Who cares? Who cares? You care? Do you care? Stefan? Who cares? Who cares? Is this gonna affect your life? Who cares? Who cares? Look, you can ignore me. You got Skylar Taylor asking you who cares. Who cares? I don't care. Who cares? Why lie about it? To spread misinformation, motherfucker. Like, are we blind here? A lot of motherfuckers like to lie for the fuck of it.
As a part of their investigation, Chinese software, and this is a side-by-side. It is such a dead ringer. It's crazy to me that
I can't even grow old in this fucking world no more. I can't grow old. I can't do nothing in this fucking world without a motherfucker just being like, oh, maybe I transitioned. This is our evidence? Pictures that, depending on the age, might be 30 years apart? Oh, man. What world do I live in? Yeah, so look, I'm going to ask this question again. Who the fuck cares when this is our information?
that you would not say that these two individuals look alike, that this is potentially the same individual age.
Okay. I mean, it's not that unbelievable that someone would look like their brother, especially as a kid. And to be honest, they don't even look that much alike. And this is coming from someone who truly struggles to tell white people apart. I mean, I thought Matt Damon and Mark Wahlberg were the same person for the first 18 years of my life. But if I'm in analyzing the similarities found by this Chinese technology, I mean, yeah, they both have dimples, the noses aren't even that similar, and the hair thing isn't even in the same spot. I'm not impressed. Now, Candace, throughout her amazing...
So the French look alike? I didn't even know the French look like that. This is terrible. This is terrible.
Journalism keeps referencing this 6-part
BRB bank run. You know what's crazy? I did a money order recently, and I'm like, so this is how this fucking goes.
series that breaks everything down. She says it's what led her to come to this fucked up conclusion, and definitely not the fact that she's insane and obsessed with trans people.
So the quote-unquote conspiracy theory is actually a 3-year thorough investigation that was conducted by journalists that were working with genealogists. It was published in 6 issues in Faits et Documents.
But I went to the website and tried to read the articles she was talking about, but everything was behind this big-ass paywall. But just from looking at this site, it looks super scammy to me. You know, it gives me like Alex...
Nah, I mean, I ain't gonna let you slide with that one. Come on. This could be an ugly-ass fucking website. A lot of instances, because shit you just be an ugly-ass fucking website. I know everything's not as crisp as all the American websites, but when shit's out the country, it's the reason why America's so great. And all you fucking Canadians are in the slums for a reason.
Jones buy
my war against Canada will never stop.
Miracle elixir energy. It could just be my gay liberal brain rot, but I'm guessing there's a reason that the only thing Candace referenced from all those articles was that goofy-ass side-by-side that was created by Chinese technology.
The first obvious reason that I am very much believing what they have published is because the First Lady is simply unable to produce any photos of herself throughout the first 30 years of her life.
Now, I will concede to Candace here that there aren't a lot of pictures of Brigitte in her youth on the World Wide Web. I personally don't find this weird because Brigitte is old, and old people did not grow up posting on MySpace every week. I'm sure you'd struggle to find a bunch of pictures of my grandparents' childhood on the internet too, but that doesn't make them transgender. These are people that cannot send out a text message from a cell phone. Why would we be expecting them to take their old-ass printed photos, scan them onto a computer, and post them onto Facebook?
Because they're supposed to be so technologically savvy. Point debunked, Kamal. You know what I'm saying? Right. Your liberal hive mind attitude is destroying your ability to think critically, Kamal. How could you? I thought you were better than this, Kamal. Jesus.
That's about as realistic as me going to a junkyard and building a rocket ship to send us all to Mars. Now, Candace claims there are 0 pictures of Brigitte before she was 30 on the internet. Nothing that can disprove Candace's stupid-ass theory that Brigitte was born Jean-Michel, fathered several children, and then transitioned to a woman at the age of 30. But Candace, I found some pictures, and it was really easy. Took me about 7 minutes of Googling. Here's one of her getting married to her first husband, Andre Luis, whatever that last name is. I'm American. I don't do accents. Although if I'm being real, I can't really make out her face here. But since Candace kept saying that there are no pictures of her first husband and there's no pictures of her wedding, I figured I would show it. And here's another one of her as a young mother with a daughter that she apparently fathered. So, I mean, there you go, Candace. I guess your reputation is shitty now. Like it.
But I was supposed to read a dossier, and because she's married to a president? Right.
It was so fantastic before. Question for Candace and all the dumbass journalists who are investigating this nonsense. If your claim is that Brigitte was actually the boy in this photo, then what happened to the little girl? I feel like finding her would have been the key to unlocking this Hardy Boys mystery, but I guess asking you to do research that makes sense for something this objectively stupid wouldn't really be a fair ask.
It's too fucking hard! I'm sorry, I jumped the gun. It's really too hard for a lot of people to do research past smoking and then just coming up with something on the fly or pulling up their teeth from Twitter. But you know, some people live in that struggle. I don't, because for as much as everyone gets mad that I don't just randomly believe the bullshit they try to feed me, you know, I do enjoy just like taking a moment to read and see if things are true or not. Makes me happy. Makes everything easier for me. And when people try to make it difficult, I just remind them that, you know, you believe the lie. I discovered the truth.
Ask what it. The funniest thing about this Brigitte is a man situation is that the relationship with the French prime minister and his wife is already super weird. I mean, they met when he was a teen in high school and she was his 40-year-old teacher. Apparently he was in the same class as her daughter. I mean, things are odd. If you want to make fun of the French, it's not hard. But I know a lot of these internet conservatives lose their mind if they don't talk about trans people every 6 hours. So do what makes you feel comfortable, I guess.
Transgenderism must be eradicated from public life entirely.
But unfortunately for all of us, that's not the only conspiracy.
So look, I got a question, just out of random benign curiosity. When you say transgenderism needs to be eradicated, my mind, and this is just my mind, and I'm not staunch in this, it's just my mind immediately goes to this. When I hear eradicate motherfuckers off the fucking earth, I think murder. I think, a genocide. And I'm just sitting there like, how does one achieve this goal without taking out a significant portion of individuals who just so happen to fit in this box of which you want to be eradicated? Because that'd be real difficult. But that's just me. Maybe I'm thinking about it a little bit too seriously. But when I hear eradicate, I'm not thinking, oh, cookies. I'm thinking, oh, somebody wants somebody dead. But
conspiracy Candace is obsessed with right now. She's also on a bit of a, let's call it, consistent questioning of Jewish people and their history.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Today we're going to keep the subject matter light. We're going to discuss
Adolf Hitler.
No, but I'm completely being serious. Literally Hitler is on the agenda because why can't we discuss him ever?
See, she starts off kind of light with this little bullshit premise that no one's ever allowed to talk about Hitler. That's obviously not true at all. I notice a lot of people who have weird feelings about Jewish people always fall under this fake guise of asking questions, but never seem to be asking genuine questions and never seem to be actually looking for the truth, but instead are always trying to spread some bullshit half-baked narrative.
The first time that I ever...
Her and Pearl love Hitler. I'm not. You know what? I shit on Pearl a lot. Has she ever fucking said anything? No, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I'm already down one rabbit hole. No, I don't want to go down that. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I'm already one headache deep. I don't need another one.
Almost got canceled. It was because I was discussing Adolf Hitler in an
academic sense.
And then BuzzFeed took me out of context. They made it seem as though I was saying Hitler was a good guy, which of course I wasn't. That's always a hoax when somebody is pretending that someone jumped up and said that.
First off, to say that it's always a hoax when someone points out another person praising Hitler is absolutely insane. And second off, people weren't mad because you were talking about Hitler. People were mad because your main gripe against Hitler was the fact that he wanted to expand what he was doing into other countries.
If Hitler just wanted to make Germany great and have things run well, okay, fine. Problem is that he had dreams outside of Germany.
Candace, you do realize that he had camps in Germany, right? I even asked ChatGPT just to clarify. I'm so sick of these whiny-ass internet conservatives that take zero accountability for their consistent fuck-up, while simultaneously trying to shame everybody who doesn't think exactly like they do, and trying to shove their white Jesus down everyone's throat.
What you want them to comply with in this case is Germany, Nazi, Hitler, the greatest evil that's ever happened on Earth, even though factually and statistically it is not.
Creating an entire segment to try to prove that the Holocaust wasn't the worst thing to ever happen is objectively weird, especially when evil is subjective, so this already doesn't make any sense. But I gotta ask, why do you feel the need to do this? Because I know a certain group of people who love to talk about this stuff and love to talk about why the Holocaust probably wasn't that big of a deal, if it even happened. People who used to be really fond of you and your journalism, but found that you're so incompetent and inaccurate that even they had to come out and distance themselves from you.
I don't know how much I really even support what Candace is doing anymore, because
I really hate this motherfucker because This is like one of those whiny British cigarettes who thought like everybody was gonna be on his side with his ethnic cleansing rhetoric. And he had to find out that everybody's not on board with that. And now that he's realized that the guy he was gonna like dick suck his way to the top about is not really bringing him along for the ride, now motherfuckers are gonna fucking be like, oh my god, now I gotta fucking lead the charge against this motherfucker. No, motherfucker, nobody's gonna side with you and your weird fucking stances in the world. You're a fucking... Honestly, fuck it. You're an enemy of the state. And I don't like it. I don't want you in my country. I don't want you criminals of the state in my country. I believe you're all nuisances, and I believe you want to see various individuals eradicated. And I will not stand for it. Not in my country. No. We don't stand for all this hateful bigotry.
She's muddying the waters. You can't really go hard like that and stake the reputation of you and everybody on this and then, like, get it wrong really severely over and over.
I mean, don't we almost feel bad for her? Imagine being called out for being too stupid and inaccurate by the leader of a hate group.
Real Africans, on average, have an IQ of 65.
This is Nick Fuentes. He's a closeted half-Mexican incel whose sole goal is to
and homosexual
make America white and Catholic again.
I'm an incel. I am a proud incel. And when I'm good and ready, I'll get married. I'll still be an incel, though.
His entire existence.
This guy's never getting... Listen. You motherfuckers who are incels, red pill, alpha male, you're British cigarettes, and you're never getting married. You're never finding love. You're never gonna fucking be happy, and you're gonna constantly bitch about your fucking unhappiness until we all just fucking leave the earth and there's nothing left but you to bitch and to moan and to groan sideways. It's pathetic, really. It used to be funny, but now it's just objectively sad. And it's embarrassing. Why won't these motherfuckers just, like, leave the game? You could reboot. Uh, 7-year-old grannies went to jail, but this guy didn't even get a knock from the FBI. Who? Y'all talking about January 6th? Well, was that motherfucker even at the fucking Capitol? Them fucking grannies, all them bitches deserve to do that. If you was there and you went into that fucking building knowing full well you wasn't supposed to do that, jail. Fuck you. Jail. No sympathy, no love, no circumstance. No what about, nothing. Jail. Hit it. Quit it. No sympathy. I'm fighting for my country. Bitch, fuck your country. You lost it. You lost it fair and square. Because, oh boy, didn't they fucking just drop a fucking log proving that Trump knew about all this shit and kept it going? Just to fucking keep it going? Sad, bad business. I'd argue it shouldn't be done like that. Never should be done like that.
Has been a pathetic joke, and even he is calling out Candace for being incompetent. Candace, when the Mexican Nazis are saying you're too dumb to be in their group based off of lies, you know you've really fucked up in life. And if Candace wasn't this hateful goblin that's constantly throwing black people under the bus, I'd honestly feel bad for her. But she is, so I don't.
The Nazis experimented on innocent people. Candace, come on, that's the difference. They experimented on twins. I mean, some of the stories, by the way, sound completely absurd. I mean, like the idea that they just like cut a human up and then sewed them back together.
Why would you do that?
Literally.
Oh! Let me help you. Candace, let me help you out. Let me help you out. Because these people were fucking insane. I could imagine the boomers in the chat if this was a main channel stream. What are you talking about? Oh, if we were having this fucking shit on the main channel? Oh, motherfuckers would be mad. But what would they do about it? Nothing.
Even if you're the most evil person in the world, that's a tremendous waste of time and supplies. That just sounds like bizarre propaganda.
Bro, what the fuck is what is this? This is like literal Nazi propaganda. This show is damn near mainstream. I mean, Candace Owens just got fired from the Daily and day.
Oh God! Oh Jesus Christ! Fuck!
Come on, that's the difference.
I went all the way back to the beginning.
Experimented on twins. I mean, some of the stories, by the way, sound completely absurd. I mean, like the idea that they just like cut a human up and then sewed them back together.
Why would you do that?
Literally, even if you're the most evil person in the world, that's a tremendous waste of time and supplies. That just sounds like bizarre propaganda.
Bro, what the fuck is what is this? This is like literal Nazi propaganda. This show is damn near mainstream. I mean, Candace Owens just got fired from the Daily Wire a couple months ago. The Daily Wire has a movie in theaters right now, and her fans are loving it. America, are we good? Like, do we need to have
It really was a great movie though. Like, on top of just like the stupidity kind of being checked, I just liked seeing the stupidity get checked just like a little bit. I hated that fucking wig. That fucking wig, Matt Walsh got one of them recognizable fucking faces. And for motherfuckers to be dumb enough to walk in that fucking room and just be like, hey, wait a minute, I think I've seen you before. And then not piece it together until they fucking leave, really fucking terrible.
we need to have a conversation? Cause like this is not good. It's no shock to me that Candace has been on this anti-Israel tirade for months now, and something tells me it's not about her compassion for the Palestinian people. If I'm shooting from the hip here, I really think it's just she didn't like working for Jewish people. I truly believe Candace is that petty and narrow-minded that she would hate all of Israel because she didn't like Ben Shapiro.
Wet ass P-word.
I really think she is that kind of person. I don't know. But that's what my gut says. And Candace says to always listen to your gut, so I figured I would share.
You are now married to a straight homosexual.
Now, as you can tell, I think Candace Owens is a dog shit person. She's constantly spreading harmful misinformation and hate, but what makes her even worse in my eyes is that she doesn't even practice or believe in these white Jesus values that she's constantly shoving down everyone's throat. See, Candace presents herself as a conservative Christian woman, someone who's dedicated to protecting the children of America from the gays, trans, and Jews. So I personally get confused when I see that she's in the constant defense of somebody who's made their money from pimping and is on camera admitting to rape and child sex trafficking. Andrew Tate is somebody who's been caught in countless lies.
I didn't sell drugs.
Let's start Candace conspiracy theory. She's controlled opposition. Is that really a theory though? Could you really honestly say with a straight face that that's a theory? I think there could be some truth behind that one. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a little bit of truth behind that one, you know? Just like a little bit.
Drugs. I didn't really like selling drugs.
Has not only done porn himself, but built his first empire from manipulating women into doing porn for him.
I used sex as a tool to make women love me so they'd obey me and live in my house to make me money.
Built his second empire from manipulating angry children into buying his How to Make Money Online course.
Welcome to the smartest decision you've ever made, Hustlers University.
And oh yeah, was charged with rape, sex trafficking, including the trafficking of a minor, along with a bunch of other shit. And has dozens of videos of him confessing to almost every single crime he's being charged with. And with all this information out and very public, and Candace apparently having read the indictment,
I've read the indictment.
Candace still decides to be in constant defense of this man and gave him two of the easiest softball-ass interviews I've ever seen in my life.
And so I want to commend you on whatever it is that you built that created this young kid who's gonna absolutely crush it.
Hell, she's even so delusional, she thinks the Romanian court system loosened the definition of sex trafficking just so they could charge Tate.
Yeah, we should talk about that because they are kind of stretching the definition of sex trafficking in your case. I've taken a look at it.
If this demon had any sort of human decency, she would know, or at least not lie about the fact that the definition of sex trafficking has not changed for decades. Nobody went in and changed anything when Andrew Tate got arrested. That is nonsense.
People that don't come from a lot, me and you, obviously, have different decisions that lay before us in life than people that come from everything or people that come from a very stable household, two loving parents. And I think it's very difficult for people that don't come from nothing to understand that, and they're so sure that if they were in desperate circumstances that they would still never do anything.
But this is the
What? Miss Conservative Jesus wants to talk about, I mean, what were we supposed to do? You grew up without a dad, kind of.
I mean, you do got to pull yourself up by the bootstraps.
Of welfare. I mean, of course you had to sex traffic those children. I mean, come on. This woman is so vile. You see the hoop she's willing to jump through to run defense for Andrew Tate, a man who not only refuses to take accountability for his crimes, but also a man who says he doesn't even feel bad for what he's done.
Being very honest, I don't think what I did was really that bad.
But what really pisses me off is when you compare the energy she has for the disgusting ass Tate brothers compared to the energy she has for Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, and Ahmaud Arbery. Because every single time there's a highly publicized case where a black person is killed by one of Candace's majestic whites, what is...
Well, I don't know about that one. But I do know sarcasm, so good job on that one, though, Kamal.
Candace do? She paints the deceased in the worst possible light, often saying things that aren't even true about them, and has nothing negative to say about the white person that killed them.
All right, so look, boom. I'm slight going to push on this. The only... I can see where Candace wanted to bring up the history of Floyd. Because in her mind, she's seeing all these people praise him as if he's some savant saint who's never done anything wrong. So she wanted to say, hey, everybody, just so you know, this person did this crime, this crime, this crime, and this crime, and you should not be honoring him as if he's some hero. Now I'm going to push back against myself when saying that and saying, with that, what does any of that have to do with the moment in time where it's relevant to say his name? Because you can bring up all the fucking moments in time where this motherfucker was clearly a bad guy. Does that negate how people should feel seeing what happened to him? I would argue no. Now, if this motherfucker raped somebody, killed somebody that day, and then tried to pass off a $20 bill, I would have said good riddance. But because this shit happened in the span of years between each other, it don't really make too much sense to bring all that up. It never really made too much sense to bring all that up. Also, this has nothing to do with anything that was said in the past 2 minutes. I do love the one clip, which I don't think any of you have ever seen, where Candace is having to fucking answer the question of when was America ever great. This was around the time Trump really bust out that statement. And like some people had like the reasonable question, when was America like great? Because a fool who won't tell you about history will not acknowledge any of the bad moments in American history. So it's like, when was it great? And I just love the fact that she kind of got pigeonholed into struggling to answer that question. Floyd was not a good person at all, and it still baffles me that he was being treated like a martyr. I don't really view him as a martyr. I just don't understand the need to bring up shit that happened that didn't even revolve around him dying or him having that fucking interaction with the police. Because they got the call about motherfucker using counterfeit money. They arrest him. Talking about all that fucking I can't breathe shit way before he got the knee on his neck. Then they put the fucking knee on his neck. Then we have all this back and forth about a knee being the reason he died or from him overdosing on fentanyl or fentanyl, however y'all pronounce it. It was a topsy-turvy or topsy-turvy. Le topsy-turvy, le topsy-turvy. Taxidermy,
When it came to George Floyd, not only did you spew this bullshit right after his death.
I do not support George Floyd and the media depiction of him as a martyr for Black America. The Black community is unique from other communities because we are the only community that caters to the bottom denominator of our society.
But then she created...
So it's like, yes and no. Yes, we cater to the bottom denominator. We're not the only ones. I know a couple white individuals that like doing a little dance for certain necrophiliacs. You know, it's weird. It's weird to see. I'm trying to heal. Fuck!
Created an entire documentary about the evils of BLM, which...
And it was, oh, come on, that was a pretty good documentary. Except, you know, if you watch anybody's YouTube videos, I ain't gonna say who specifically, you know, you could watch anybody's YouTube videos. you watch certain individuals' YouTube videos, you'll know everything that Candace Owens said about BLM, with the exception of like the 2-minute montage of information about where that money went. That was like the only new thing.
Should have been an easy win for Candace, but because she fucking sucks, she goes and spreads this lie that George Floyd died of fentanyl.
The real story is a story of addiction. Obviously, they had...
That's not the real story. That's not the real story about that. No. Because even with that added tidbit, there's a lot there that needs to be discussed. And this being a story of addiction is painting the broadest brush possible.
Drugs on them. Drugs were found on them. And I believe that in his final moments, when the police arrived, he ingested a lethal amount of drugs. And it is a story of a man who overdosed.
Hey Candace, it's great that you believe that, but please explain to us why you left out the fact that multiple doctors and medical specialists all said that George Floyd did not overdose.
Can you tell the jury from having looked at those videos, can you tell by looking at that alone?
See, this is where this shit gets finicky as all fuck, because weren't there two... Now I gotta relive my trauma of this shit, which is a wild thing for me to say. There were 2 fucking autopsies. One saying this motherfucker died from compression of the neck, from the neck, and the other one saying he died of fucking fentanyl. It makes this shit all the more confusing.
Whether George Floyd was suffering from a fentanyl overdose.
He is not.
My bad, I forgot. Candace Owens doesn't listen to the experts. She just listens to common sense. It's working out great for you, right?
Ahmaud Arbery was caught on camera breaking into an unfinished property that was owned by Larry English. His mother has confirmed it was him in the video. Please stop with this. Just a jogger bullshit narrative. Avid joggers don't wear khaki shorts and stop to break into homes.
Candace, I know the facts aren't really your thing, but Ahmaud Arbery never broke into any house. He walked into a construction site, looked around, and it was proven that he never stole anything. I'm 100% certain that even your mouth-breathing troglodyte fans would agree that these small white...
I hate when people say they have common sense like your ass is not common sense. I mean, sometimes I do lack it. Sometimes I always have it.
Children did not break into this house. And for her slow fans in the back, this is the exact same house. And what you saw on camera was the last 45 seconds of a man who had been chased down for 5 minutes straight and had just been hit by a pickup truck because the people chasing him hit him with it.
He was not being pursued in the video, obviously. It looked like he was running towards the car.
You saw him running toward that truck because he was running from the guy that was filming him, the guy that had just hit him with his car, and he ran into the other people because they had turned around and flanked him. They were surrounding him, trying to trap him like a fucking animal.
And then when the 2 people who had guns, he went around and he attacked the person.
And he charged at them because the dude had a gun pointed at his head, and he felt like this was his only chance to survive. Because again, they had been chasing him for 5 minutes straight.
Why do I feel like Kamal always talks like this in calls or in video or on videos? Not true. I did a stream with this man on Twitch, and he talks the exact same. Like, there's no change in the voice, no change in the tone, no change in the structure. He talks the exact same. Fluent speaker, might I add.
And what did the guy say right after he shot him?
After the shooting took place, before police arrival, while Mr. Arbery was on the ground, that he heard Travis Michael make the statement.
Exactly. But to Candace, Ahmaud is the criminal here, right? And these sex traffickers that your religious husband is so buddy-buddy with for some reason, they're great. They're actually the victims. I mean, the court system changed the definition just to get them, right, Candace? They're the victims. Just like Derek Chauvin is the victim, right?
Nobody knew who George Floyd was, but also nobody knew who Derek Chauvin was.
In Candace's disgusting-ass documentary, she actually brought on a bunch of Minnesota cops to try to garner sympathy for Derek Chauvin.
We heard earlier that he is spending 23 hours a day in solitary confinement. Do you ever think about his mental state?
Every day.
Not to be that guy, but when y'all sit there and say things like, do you ever think about this mental state? Or when people say things like, it's criminal that this happened. Y'all ever peep how they just say that and then just peace out? They don't add no fucking money to this motherfucker books. They don't try to like fight for him with an attorney who could potentially get him out. They just fucking sit on their ass all day and just be like, oh, it's a crime what happened to Derek Chauvin. How dare the fucking left do this? Like, share, subscribe. Goodbye. It's like, if you cared that much, you would have fought for him somewhat. It's like a little bit. You would have fought for him a little bit. It's just a tad, just a touch. It's like a little bounce.
Every day.
You don't wish that on anybody.
And of course, she totally leaves out the fact that Derek...
Ahsoka, I'm not drinking water. Because I don't... Oh, I do have some. Never mind. Never mind. If I didn't have water by me, I wouldn't drink. Now I have... Did y'all see that ugly white dude sit there and say... Not say, but like, he drank water. It's like somebody gave him alcohol. This motherfucker sat there, drank water, and was like, yeah. I'm like, you goddamn, you dirty bitch.
Derek Chauvin had been putting his knee into other people's necks. He did this to 7 other people. But she doesn't bring that up. Of course not. We can't have the white man police officer in the wrong. I mean, that just wouldn't be right. This really just took her coonery to the next level. You know what I mean? She became like a general of coonery after I saw this.
Because you used to be a liberal.
Right.
And then you became a conservative.
That's correct.
You know, I spent a lot of time trying to figure out why Candace Owens would willingly choose a career of coonery.
Thoughts on the Confederate flag? I do not see a problem with people whose family members died fighting for that flag to be...
States' rights to do what? That's all I ever got to do is... States' rights to do what? That's all.
able to wave it high.
And I realized that Candace has never had a strong connection to black culture or black people.
As far as on her daily basis, like growing up on a daily basis in her life, she was around more white people. You know what I mean? She grew up in Connecticut. So, you know, all her friends was white. You know, all the guys she ever dated. I don't think I ever known Candace to ever date a black dude.
She identifies as Caribbean. She probably didn't have a lot of black friends growing up. She damn sure doesn't have a lot of black friends now. So I get it. It makes sense to me that a narcissistic contrarian with a disdain for black Americans would decide to be used as a human tool for racists who want to spread lies about black people. It's sad, but it does add up. There's a lot of people in this country that are black, but don't have a strong connection to black American culture. And that...
Like you, come on. Motherfuckers one day are really gonna think like I hate Kamal. But the one thing is, I don't. This is just my way of operating. I like my shit talking. I like my snarkiness. It fuels me throughout the day.
Can lead to a...
Would we call her Aunt Ruckus? No. That's what lets me know you're white, because you take my iconic black joke of Uncle Ruckus and you try to bastardize it.
A lot of confusion and resentment for black culture and black people. I know firsthand what it's like for black people to try to question your blackness and try to make you feel like you don't belong in the group. And it hurts. Now...
No, it doesn't. Oh, well, you talking about it hurts for you. Okay, oh, yeah. It may hurt for you, but like to a real nigga like me who like got made fun of because, you know, he spoke apparently white, which just meant I didn't say Earl, I said oil. You know, motherfuckers ain't up to snuff. And while you know how I know that? Them motherfuckers is half dead, in jail, got STDs, HIV, and a baby. And me? I'm just cooler.
Now, I didn't allow those experiences to turn me into a Fox News super coon, but you know, we all have our journeys, I guess.
Come on, you can't say that word.
Part of me honestly feels bad for Candace. crisis. She's been used up by all the far-right psychos on the internet to spread lies about her own people, lies that she probably actually believes. She gets fired from the Daily Wire for doing to Ben's people what she's been doing to her own for her entire career. A few months into her being on her own, she gets demonetized from YouTube, and she seems to be spiraling, falling for a new dumbass conspiracy theory every single day. And
so look, I hate the fact that he might be right about that, but the reason why I say might is because I don't know. Apparently, she's been on this kick of finding Kamala Harris's birth parents. And all I'm thinking to myself is this how you end up beating her in the presidential race? Finding her biological parents? Not by just like getting Trump to like dog walk her on policies and all this shit. This? Really? Because if that's the case, America is a fucking clown show. Huh? Oh, you don't believe me, you say? You don't believe that she's doing this, you say? Well, let me just... Oh, wrong one. That's for later. Like, I saw this morning. This is like been going on for I think a week. All right. Shut up. Let me see. Oh, I spoke with Kamala's uncle. I might have lied to myself. Her mom is dead. Well, that's something I didn't know. Why didn't you tell me? But I saw I spoke with Kamala's uncle. Oh, the shocking revelation. I'm like, why can't we just like show that Kamala don't know what the fuck she talking about, and we could defeat her by using Trump to speak against these policies that she has? And listen, I don't mean to sound like a racist, but there's smoke. Where there's smoke, there's fire. And I feel like J.D. Vance, despite his illiterate fucking ways of operating, was able to get a lot of people to start questioning Kamala a little bit more than Trump did, which I'm going to say again is just one of the reasons why I think that J.D. Vance and Tim Walz were better options to run for president than the two that we have now. You know? It's blowing up now because the media sees she has a better understanding than they do. I don't really think that's the reason it's blowing up. I think the reason it's blowing up is because a lot of people already don't believe in Kamala. And when somebody brings enough evidence to make people start questioning, it's enough for people to spread it around. And again, I'm going to just say this with clarity. Does this shit really beat her in the election? I don't know. Because guess what? Who are y'all voting for? Trump, Kamala, Walz, Vance, doesn't matter. Let's play a game. Let's say, even though some of y'all don't want to do it, let's just like imagine for a second. Don't say America's doomed, because I know that's what one of y'all might say. Imagine Kamala wins. And all of this fucking effort that was put in ends up being for fucking nothing. Literally all of it. All the questioning the blackness, as if motherfuckers ain't got multiple fucking ethnicities in them, which is like, I never understood that. All the fucking talking about how she fucked her way to the top. All of it. Like just all of it. All of that will be viewed as for nothing because motherfuckers spent more time chasing rabbits with this instead of just being like, yo, let me debunk every fucking thing she got going on, facts behind it, and then go from there. And who knows, maybe all this shit is a fact. The reason why I'm saying I don't know is because I didn't watch the shit. I just found out about it today. But let's work with it. Nah, let's flip it. But if Trump wins, all the efforts to make Trump look bad, some of it worked, some of it didn't matter because people still went out and supported him. I'm still thinking Trump wins because he got shot at the first time. It's gonna sound fucked up, but I didn't really care about the second time, which I kind of did a whole stream based around that. But it's like, the first time was so shocking and backed up by a bunch of motherfuckers running around being like, they want me dead, the deep state wants me dead. So it's like, ooh. And then the motherfucker gets shot at, so it's like, ooh. And the motherfucker is just like, ew. I know I'm all over the place, but you love it anyway. If she wins, feminists need to shut up about us living in a patriarchy. Well, that's not going to happen because put it like this. I equate that sentiment to when Obama became president. Racism didn't die. Oh, Johnny Racism didn't die when my nigga Obeezy became the president. A lot of people thought that it was gonna die, but no. That's not how racism works. Racism lives forever. And if a woman becomes president, promise you this, it's not gonna stop a lot of motherfuckers from hating on women. So, you know, I suggest we all just be prepared. No one looks at her tenure as a DA and was focused on multiple time Cali's Supreme Court to let people out because they were exonerated or actually innocent. You know what's real funny about she put away 1,000 black people in jail? That's actually not true. She got convictions on 1,000 people, but I think like 40 of them went to jail. So it's like when people say she put 1,000 people in jail, the actual number is somewhere in the 40s. Not 40,000, 40. Like, 41, 42, 43, 44. When I found that out, I was like, damn, y'all really just kept that going for the fuck of it, huh? Oh, well. What was I doing? I still want to know if right-wing supporters would be for presidential immunity if she wins. I would argue some would say yes, some would say no. Some would say yes, some would say no, JD lost that debate after Walz asked him, did Trump lose? And he didn't answer. JD, I don't know if it was answering that question or another one. I ain't gonna say he kept like he did it the whole time. Twice I remember him answering one of these questions that is a simple like yes or no. He answered it with, why are we focusing on the past? And I'm just sitting there thinking, because people are worried that the past is gonna repeat itself. Like, that's why people are concerned about this motherfucker not admitting he lost, because there's gonna be people afraid that this motherfucker might say some shit that arguably could be viewed as peaceful. But then other motherfuckers are going to go and do their own thing, which will backfire on him and his reputation again. And people will be afraid that, democracy died or we've lost our country and all that shit. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. That January 6th shit, boy, like watching it in real time really made a nigga think, like, are we cooked? We just watched the man lose and a bunch of supporters are mad at it and they like going gung-ho about it. It's like, are we cooked? We might be. And if a motherfucker asks you, oh, did Trump win? Just immediately say no and move on. Don't fucking hold it. Don't fucking hang on to that shit. Just say no and move it on. If you say no and move it on, you're able to fucking galvanize and move on to the next subject. Simple.
Embarrassing herself in front of America. So what do we take from this? Well,
the shooter comment was not sus. That was just a fucking Freudian slip, and that's all I'm gonna take that as. That's all I'm going to take that as. Because if I gotta play this game where I'm supposed to look at that man and say he's sus for that comment, saying that you have concepts of a plan that you will not share with a group of people who want to know your policies after you done bitched about your opposition not having good policies, make you look bad. Cut me deep, Shrek. Cut me real deep just now. It make you look bad not having no policies that you want to tell the American people, because the American people want to know, because they're fucking voting for you and they want to know what you got. They want to know if you're a real leader.
For one, I hope we all realize that Candace Owens is a shitty journalist that spreads constant misinformation on groups of people that hurt her feelings, and that the best thing for her to do would be to turn the camera off permanently. And that maybe we as black people shouldn't try so hard to gatekeep the black experience in America, because the next time you try to tell that awkward girl with the bad edges that she's not black, you might just be creating the next black white supremacist.
Well, that's the video. How do we feel? I feel like there are some good points to make, criticizing the credibility and journalistic integrity of an individual and how they perceive and distribute information. Distribute information. Because oftentimes a lot of people like to say things with the notion that the audience that's watching it is never going to use their phone to look shit up themselves. You know, that's an easy get out of jail free card for some individuals. He has a very nice phone. That means you didn't like it. I feel like personally, this is going to be a video that has a lot of divisiveness around it for Kamal. And I think, maybe you're wrong, I think this might be Kamal's first test with criticism brought towards him from individuals who really love certain individuals online. I don't know if he's dealt with this before. He may have. And he may have already been able to navigate that. Yeah, a lot of motherfuckers are slow, dumb, stuck, stupid, illiterate, and there's no real reason to really get too fixated on it. Bring Leon money so you can pay Kamal back for playing the members. Hey. Shh. We just gonna act like we did. We gonna act like we did this already. Don't worry. Don't fret. We just gonna pretend like we were never here, and it'll be all right. It will be all right. Oh, it's a members only video? Oh, don't worry. It'll be made public. I think today or tomorrow. Whenever he does it, it'll be done. I saw this video, fucking why I hate grifters. And this is going to be when I speed up for the fuck of it.
I hate grifters. I don't think
Welcome to the club.
I made that a secret. But I don't think I've ever explained or fully articulated why I dislike them so much, or like I said before, hate them. And it's really quite simple. It's because you have people who, at one point, I truly believe, had a real passion for creating stuff they cared about. And it wasn't about making money or the views. It was just about talking about what they really, really loved. But at some point, which is inevitable, apparently for these grifters, they talked about something maybe they didn't like, and then it popped.
Hold on. I just noticed something. My shit is not in just chatting on Twitch. I just noticed that. I've been sitting here playing. I done played like 3 different fucking games, and my shit wasn't on just chatting. I feel embarrassed.
Off of it, and that became their entire personality. And if you don't believe me, look at on the screen as you're seeing people's older videos and their most recent stuff. Notice the change in thumbnail, output, content, titling, all that stuff. No longer are we talking about being excited, having rare mythic pulls, or your favorite comic book storylines, or 10 games you really loved in childhood. No, those.
Random tangent about research. I wasn't familiar with the Emmett Till case, so I looked it up, and one of Google's suggested searches was fun facts about Emmett Till. I'm not really going to put the onus on Google for that one. I'm going to put the onus on the fucking people who made the article.
Those are gone. Now let's talk about how this game failed because of DEI. The Sweet Baby is garbage. Everything's woke. This is terrible. This is bad. This is bad. Everything's bad. Everything's bad and bad all the time. This is what I hate. It is so obvious that they're just doing this for money, and it blows my mind because the people who will come against me, attack me, calling me a shill, whatever, will defend this. An obvious grift. These people do not care about the shit they're actually talking about. Because if they did care, they would still make content at the very least similar to what they're making before. Now, I'm not against people changing up content. Hell, I've done it. When I first started the channel, I was trying to be a Let's Player like Markiplier, PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, everyone in the world, right? I was trying to do that too. Was I good at that? Clearly not, right? Because even I started to feel the pressure. Even I felt like I was being too fake because I'm playing these games because they're popular and not giving attention, not because I actually want to play these games. Some of them I do like, but like I definitely did have games on there where I was playing it just because maybe this is the one I wanted to pop off. I was being disingenuous, but I recognized that. And so I found my way to the content I feel most comfortable doing, which is the stuff you guys are seeing more now.
I'm so bored. Your voice is boring. Melanie, kick it up a notch with your fuck with whatever it is you're about to give me.
Rumor has it.
Oh, Lord. Strike one. Already basing it off of a rumor. Strike one.
Ghost of Yute, may be getting delayed to 2026.
Dude, what are you doing? No. Leave me alone.
Already. Sony just announced it less than a month ago. It's only been like, what, a couple weeks ago? But it did receive a ton.
When does one become a grifter? Listen. This fucking word gets thrown around casually. All when motherfuckers start saying things that you disagree with. Like, you know how many times I get called a grifter? By all sides when I say shit all you mongoloids don't fucking agree with. Like, I can't win for losing in this motherfucker. I'll just be cooler. I state my opinions and then I piece the fuck out. But motherfuckers sit here and they're like, oh, fuck, he's grifting. He's grifting. My bad, I had real opinions. She has stupid opinions, or she may be stupid, but at least she has nice hair. Yeah.
Backlash, you know, some people were kind of excited for it. Some people weren't that skeptical about it until the main actress who was a part of it started blocking every single person who was associated in the counterculture space. Even
yes, because no one wants to no popular individual wants to associate with you people because you're all fucking weird, manic, you bitch about everything, you rarely enjoy anything. It's like, fuck, I'm not surprised, and I ain't mad at it. I'm glad they block you motherfuckers. Y'all fucking weird. Y'all operate like fucking children. Give us what we want. Give us what we want. Like, motherfucker, no. Fuck, you're annoying. That's why people don't fucking want to deal with y'all.
Even when they were optimistic about what could happen with this game. Now, there still was a lot of backlash because it is not following Jin Sakai's story, and again, instead with this new female character. But, and I made a video kind of unpacking a lot more about this if you want to watch that. But yes, the TLDR of it is that the main actress who provided the mocap as well as like a face scan, all of that, and I imagine the voice as well. She goes by all genders. She is very much a very, 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 very large.
So does that mean the game is gonna be bad because the bitch has pronouns in her fucking Is that it? Is that it?
Virtually a part of this woke satanic ideology, and so a lot of us are led to believe that this will bleed into the game.
I don't like those creators, but Concord was shit, to be fair. So look, I'm gonna ask you this question sincerely. Why was Concord terrible? Why was Concord terrible? Depending on your answer, I'm gonna have a real idea about your way of thinking when it comes to all of these satanic rituals. I do not care about the theatrics politics. It doesn't affect me. Also, I don't care that the lead being a female. Oh, wow. What? You don't care that the indoctrination is continuing? Oh, my God. What a fucking liberal, dude. Why don't you care? Is it because Ghost of Tsushima was a good game and you're somewhat excited about this game being good also? Oh, liberal Jew, liberal scum coming to infect my way of life, my video game experience. No. You must call out the woke.
Itself as well. The team behind Ghost of Tsushima, I don't know how many of them are a part of Ghost of Yotei. All I know is what we've seen from the actress here, as well as a couple other members of the team, be it the community manager, and I think even maybe one of the developers, very, 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 very much in this woke ideology, pronouns and bio, so on and so forth, as you can imagine. So let's go ahead and dive into this article because we do have some insider information from Endymion. So he got information from somebody he knows on the inside. Now, again, this is all rumor because he's not going to drop his sources. If he drops his sources, they could lose their jobs and obviously get harassed by the woke mafia, right? So personally, if you want to know my opinion, do I believe this is valid? Yes, I think Endymion
why do you think it's valid?
Is a great dude, and I don't see him just fabricating something like this. I wouldn't imagine him doing something like that. So let's go ahead and dive into this video. So a rumor claims that Sony and Sucker Punch Productions recently announced Ghost of Yotei game will be delayed to at least 2026 after the company changed its vision from a Ghost of Tsushima sequel.
So look, Stefan, your statement is half-baked as a motherfucker, so let me help you out when you ever have a discussion about Concord being terrible. It was another live service pay-to-win fucking game that nobody really wanted because we already had 15 fucking versions of the same game over and over and over again. The gameplay was shit. The controls were shit. Yes, the fucking characters were nothing but a Pandora's box of what Apex Legends is, but that really wasn't an issue. The issue was that these fucking controls were fucking terrible. The gameplay was ass. The mechanics were fucking unwatchable to look at. And might I just say, it was just not something anyone really wanted to invest their time into. What it was, 400 million to make that fucking game? And they pulled out refunds I ain't gonna say immediately, but like within days of the game being out. That's a bad investment. $400 million? You could have made Sly Cooper 5 with that one.
To Ghost of Yutei. So apparently they were going to do a Ghost of Tsushima sequel first, which I think that would have been the smarter move because Ghost of Tsushima had, I mean, it's a great game. Like I said in my other video, I didn't finish it because I don't know. I think if it had a more...
Oh, I don't... No. Strike 2 and 3. You didn't finish the fucking game? Your opinion is not respected at all.
Disney's Snow White live action remake has been nothing short of an utter disaster. Probably the messiest, messiest promotion, I don't know, time leading up to release. I mean, people thought that The Little Mermaid live action received a lot of backlash, and that was all a thing. But Snow...
Live action made $569 million worldwide with a budget of $298 million domestic. Wow, with a budget of $265. Yeah, that might be considered a floppy.
Snow White just continued to outpace that to a whole other degree, to the point of them even delaying the entire thing, which they should have just scrapped it. And here's the key difference with that is Rachel Zegler's insufferable interviews, her whole attitude against anybody who is critical about what they're doing with this live action version of the movie. And now she tells us about what they're changing. Snow White film is changing the origin of Snow White's name. It's no longer about her skin anymore, which...
This movie's gonna suck. This movie's not gonna do well. And when I wanted to figure out why they're doing this, it was explained to me that it's a matter of renewing IPs. So the reason why a bunch of motherfuckers are doing whatever the fuck they want with Mickey Mouse now is because the IP on that, at least for Disney is concerned, ran out. So now motherfuckers could do whatever they want with Mickey Mouse and not get sued by Disney. So this is the reason why you're getting all these live action remakes of shit these past few years, in case anyone was wondering.
Obviously, how are you going to make this Snow White live action version about Snow White, skin white as snow, with a character whose skin is not white as snow? How does that make sense? Okay, I mean, that's the thing, is there's princesses she could have played, but Snow White, why? I don't know. I mean, casting accurate portrayals just isn't the thing anymore, apparently. So Rachel Zegler has spoken out. I know she also was saying that she was taken out of context when she was talking about the prince being weird. She's like, weird. That famous interview where she's throwing shade at the original Snow White, the classic that put Disney on the map, essentially. Throwing shade at that, acting like there was something wrong with the Disney prince. He was weird. But no, that was just a joke, she says, a year and a half later. Not when she was actually getting the backlash, Okay, so actress Rachel Zegler confirmed that the upcoming Disney live-action Snow White film will change the origin of Snow White's name. In Disney's original 1937 film, Snow White's name was due to her skin color. A storybook opens and reads, each day the vain queen consulted her magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all? And as the mirror answered, you're the fairest one of all. Snow White was safe from the queen's cruel jealousy.
Cast me as Snow White? Ew.
The film then transitions to the evil queen asking the magic mirror, who is the fairest one of all? But instead of answering that the queen is the fairest, it informs her, famed is thy beauty, majesty, but hold, a lovely maid I see. Rags cannot hide her gentle grace. Alas, she is more fair than thee. When the queen instructs the mirror to name the person, the mirror replied, lips red as the rose, hair black as ebony, skin white as snow. The queen then says, Snow White. That gave it away. That's how she knew. She's like, wait a minute. I know a girl with black hair and red lips and white skin. In an interview with Variety, Zegler revealed that Snow White's name is not due to her skin tone, obviously, because you can't. So it's like, okay, we're going to put her in this. We're going to change the entire premise of the story. Then why? Like, if you're going to make a movie and a story.
Why am I agreeing? Finally, I agree with Melanie Mac. If you're changing the whole premise of the fucking Snow White character, why is it called Snow White? Why is it called Snow White?
and you don't actually want to stick with the story and you're going to change it all because of who you casted, that's weird. If you want to talk about that. Okay. So she shared, it fell back to another version of Snow White that was told in history where she survived a snowstorm. Her name's Snow White because she survived a snowstorm, y'all. Oh my.
Yeah, this shit not gonna bang.
That occurred when she was a baby. And so the king and queen decided to name her Snow White to remind her of her resilience. So they got to go with the whole, bang. Oh, she's a fighter. Snow White's a fighter. I don't know why they keep with modern depictions of this. Snow White was a very soft, sweet, gentle, feminine, go into a stranger's house and clean it type character. That was just so charming about her. But instead, they just, for some reason, don't want to have a gentle, sweet, soft-spoken, soft-demeanored woman anymore. She's got to be a fighter. And she...
These live actions, how the originals are better. Wow, that's broken fucking sentence structure. Melanie's voice is just... Oh, what are you talking about? It's chef's kiss. It's butter. It's butter. Don't you dare.
He survived a snowstorm. I'm not. Oh, this is from an old tale, an old version where they. What version? Because I ain't never heard that in my life. This is the first time. Zegler added, one of the core points in our film for any young woman or a young person is remembering how strong you actually are.
So look, that's cool. What a great premise. You can't name me 15 babies that could potentially survive a fucking snowstorm.
Notice they say any young woman or young person instead of or young man, because I mean, she's got to accommodate all of the 800 genders. Not only did Zegler confirm that Disney's live action is changing the origin of Snow White's name, but she also addressed the backlash she received regarding her numerous comments made at D23 back in 2022 that revealed how Disney was seemingly changing the entire movie altogether. For example, Zegler insulted and derided anyone who had any affinity to the original film, telling Extra TV the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird, so he didn't do that this time. Okay, now she's going to pretend like that was all just a joke all this time later. After being asked about the prince, she said, we have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story just because, like, we cast a guy in the movie, Andrew Burnap, a great dude. So are they not going to do a love story? That was a charm of a lot of these princess movies. They had, like, a really wholesome and sweet love story, but for some reason, they don't want to do that anymore.
Did they? Because, you know, think about Beauty and the Beast. That bitch has Stockholm Syndrome. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That bitch has Stockholm Syndrome. How the fuck was I gonna take that story seriously? That bitch got kidnapped by some bear and was like, oh, I saw his bear dick, and I was like, oh. Then the motherfucker transformed into a human, and then all of a sudden, motherfuckers just start loving him, man. This is bestiality. Bestiality? Bestiality. Hearing most YouTubers talk makes me want to grift on YouTube and get paid. Are you telling me that my voice is not... You telling me my voice makes you want to grift? How dare you? How dare you? Excuse me. Welcome back. I can't do it. I can't do it. It hurts when I do it. Like, I get ill. When I do like cringy YouTuber voice and like try to commit to it, I can't do it. My body starts to hurt.
Probably because it's straight and they don't like straight love stories anymore. She continued, it's one of those things that I think everyone's going to have their assumptions about what it's actually going to be, but it's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get, who knows? It's Hollywood, baby. It's an inner journey that she goes on to find her true self. What is she gonna, in the movie, calling herself they, them? And she meets a lot of people along the way that make the journey really incredible, she concluded. She made similar comments to Variety. I just mean it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White. Wonder Woman actress Gal Gadot, who is playing the...
Yo, what happened here? Well, I just caught a dubbed in Frank Fortnite. That's what happened here, buddy. But if you're asking me, like, what's going on in this whole stream, we're just watching videos, man. We're reacting and we're vibing and I'm streaming and that's not great.
The Queen then asserted she's not going to be saved by the prince. No, can't have that. Can't have men being heroic and strong. Not in modern day. That's the thing I don't get is like women like that. So who are you trying to appeal to in this? Women like that. Who doesn't like a strong heroic man to
Leon, the live action? Fuck you.
save the day? Come on. You know, this isn't something like Tomb Raider.
I can't ever be black. I can't ever be a black character in a video game. Ray fucking Shazam. Oh my God. I'm close to being gold. Sweet.
Obviously, Tomb Raider, you want Lara Croft to do everything.
Peachy would be better casted as Snow White. I'm gonna tell her you said that.
Yeah, but she's this like, modern Tomb Raider is different, but classic Tomb Raider, you've got this like statuesque, muscular, strong, like femininely muscular, strong, Amazonian type, power fantasy female lead. Very hyper feminine though. So yeah, obviously in a story like that, she doesn't, like, she's psychopathic, more like sociopathic, to where she just lives for the adrenaline rush of adventure, right? So in a story like that, where she just, gave up romantic relationships because she is so obsessed with a crazy, dangerous lifestyle, this is...
Did Peachy fall down the stairs again? Part of the reason why my fucking reading has gotten bad is because you motherfuckers in your broken fucking English. And no, she didn't.
I mean, come on. It's Snow White, for crying out loud. So Zegler concurred, she's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. That's the thing, is love is a beautiful thing, and for some reason, it's been so contaminated.
Leon would make a great movie villain. I would make a great movie villain, elderly grandparent, or father who dies, like, throughout the first quarter of the movie.
And so degenerized, if that's even a word, and perverted in modern day media, where you have all of this... man, society has just gotten really gross. Society has strayed from the Bible and God's order of a man and woman falling in love, getting married, and that being a beautiful thing. But now...
No, society hasn't. It's just you think that you, in the span of saying Twitter isn't real life, seemingly base every fucking American societal standard off of Twitter. Marriage is not a lost commodity. People are seeking love. People are seeking true love. People are seeking family and kids. And the people who are mad about that are the people on Twitter. And the people who like overtly say humanity is returning to order are the people on Twitter. You get off Twitter and you talk to normal motherfuckers and they'll be like, yeah, I want to be married one day. I just got to meet the right person. And that'll be the end of the statement. Those tattoos were not allowed in the back. Thank you. But remember, she brought that up. It's like, yeah, but you can't really equate that to anything. It's like, no, bitch, you're going to hell. You're going to hell.
It's any type of romance and stuff. They want to add all the gay stuff. They want to add all the, just make it gross, where everything is just not.
So look, my advice is still the strongest. Don't watch it. He's like, instead of giving me all the same tired talking points about how it's all gay and the woke and the choke, just stop watching it. That's my answer. That'll always be my answer. Like, I'm sorry, you may not like it. When the fuck did Iron Man become a good? Yeah, like you could just not watch it. And I know that's not the most popular opinion, but here's my thing. I'm speaking for me. I don't see shit. And then when motherfuckers ask me, what do I think about this bad thing that's going on? What do I think about this horrible thing? And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't see it. How could you not see it? Because I didn't want to fucking, whatever. I guarantee you it's not interesting for me to look at. So I'm not going to fucking buy into it. I'm not going to give it a chance or nothing. I'm waiting for Sonic to drop.
But the actual biblical definition of love. So they don't like a story like this that is wholesome. In that case. So she's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be. Why does every woman have to be a leader? I don't know. The leader that her late father told her. And again, that's another obsession for some reason. It's like, because typically in a lot of cases you see like a son take the helm from, his father in a lot of ways. I mean, not all the time, obviously, but there are, that is a typical thing. But so they got to just be like, oh, now it's the girl who takes her father's lead. And that's what they did with the rebooted version of Tomb Raider, which wasn't original canon. In original canon, her parents disowned her.
Hate watching is just as lame as canceling others for hurt feelings. And it's crazy. You want to know which side does that, even though they like to claim that it's bad? A ding, 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 ding. Like, I'm not hate watching a fucking thing. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not hate watching any of these fucking movies that come out on these TV shows. I'm just not going to watch it. I'm lying. The one exception was the Good Times show. I hate watch that. So I'm going to check myself. That was the one time I dedicated myself to hate watching. Because I had to. I had to see how they bastardized that great show. Have you seen the Dragon Ball Sparking Zero stuff? I still don't know if I'm getting that game. I'm still not certain if I'm getting that game. Isn't it out? No, it comes out next week. Okay. I still don't know if I'm getting the game. I don't know. Oh my God, Undisputed dropping 4 days. What the fuck? Next week about to be lit. Next week about to be fucking lit. It's like, I don't know. 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 I don't know if I want it. 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 I wouldn't pay to hate watch, but I would pay to see a movie that is terrible if it's so bad that it's actually funny. That's still hate watching. I think I was in a category of hate watching Joker because I already knew about the spoilers. And I was just like, at this point, if I go, I'm just going to see something that will inevitably fucking chap my khakis. And I'm just like, do I even want to? When does this drop? This drops in 17 fucking days. Oh!
Her dad was not an archaeologist or...
I'm done. I'm done with you. You harlot. I'm done with you. Oh, God. Critical Drinker talked about the Joker. God damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. Should I do it? Should I do it? Like, I'm not saying that like, oh, I hate the Critical Drinker. I'm saying that because it's another fucking individual who's about to shit on something that I kind of was excited for until all the shit came out. Damn it!
Wow, I guess time really does make fools of us all. The first Joker movie was one of those rare moments of cinematic serendipity where everything that should have been wrong somehow came together to become absolutely right. A low-budget origin story about a Batman villain that nobody asked for, directed by a guy best known for making comedies that proved the law of diminishing returns, and shadowed by media accusations of promoting violence, misogyny, and generalized buffoonery. It was a film that seemingly had everything going against it, but somehow turned out way better than it had any right to be. In a sea of oversaturated CGI sludge, the Joker dared to tell a small, intimate, complex story of a man pushed into madness and despair by a society that was blindly indifferent to him. A movie with a wonderfully unreliable narrator, driven by a superb performance by Joaquin Phoenix, and an ending that left the audience with more questions than answers. It was a perfect one-and-done movie that told its story and told it well. No need to do anything more with a character like that because it would just cheapen the experience. So, like the rest of you, I was a bit perplexed when I found out that Joker was getting a sequel, and even more concerned when it was announced as a musical co-starring Lady Gaga. But just like everyone else, I tried to suppress my doubts and ignore that nagging feeling in the pit of my stomach that this movie was fundamentally a bad idea. Surely...
Hey, you know what's crazy? Everybody says, like, Lady Gaga played her role wonderfully. Like, the issues with the movie... you can throw the musical aspect in it because people were like, why the fuck is this a musical? Like, why? Why are we having this be a musical? And, you know, that's a reason to be, like, slightly concerned about all this shit. And I heard that from some people, the song choices are somewhat good. And then some songs, like, the way the songs are implemented are not good. So it's like, it's all based around how you're going to fucking do this shit. But really, people got criticisms with the fact that the movie takes place in dream sequences, the jail, and the courthouse, and that's it. And the ending.
To goodness, Todd Phillips knows what he's doing and wouldn't just shout out some lame cash grab sequel that undermines the integrity of the original, right?
Wrong.
Then I sat down and watched it. And if all 2.5 hours of Joker folie à deux proves anything at all, it's that sometimes you really ought to listen to your instincts. Yeah, there's definitely good elements in there. You can see that talented people were working on this movie, and the ending is definitely going to get people talking. But overall, Joker 2 felt like a dull, bloated, and ultimately unnecessary movie that failed.
And that's another thing. I can't even call this shit a musical. It's barely a fucking musical. I think it only had like 3-4 songs. And it wasn't like, whoa, we're going to sing all the time. It's like, no. It was just there. Badly, too. It wasn't even good there. It was just bad there.
To answer the question that's dogged it since the beginning, why does this film even exist? Now, I know it's just come out and I don't want to spoil it for people, so I'm going to keep my plot summary short and sweet, unlike this fucking movie. So with that in mind, let's go. The story picks up shortly after the events of the first film, where Arthur Fleck has been arrested and locked up in Arkham Asylum while he awaits trial for all the murders that he committed. His lawyer wants to plead insanity, while the prosecutor Harvey Dent's pushing for the death penalty. Bad times indeed. But while he's at Arkham, he meets a young woman named Lee Quinn and soon starts a bit of a romance with her. But is it really Arthur that she's into, or his Joker personality? And what's her true motivation for being there? Well, you'll have to wait and find out. Anyway, the case goes to trial and... Arthur's soon confronted by the reality of what he did in the first film by going over most of the key events again. But how responsible was he for what happened? Was the Joker really a split personality that took over him, or just part of
Yes.
him all along? And what will Harley Quinn think of him when she finds out the truth? Joker 2 is kind of a frustrating movie to watch because in a lot of ways I can see how hard many of the people involved are trying to make it work. Joaquin Phoenix delivers the same intense, compelling performance as the first movie, arguably a bit too similar, but we'll get into that one in a minute. The point is though, he's definitely given the role his all, and some of his scenes are genuinely compelling. Lady Gaga, much to my surprise, also turns in a good performance as a crazy superfan enamored by the flamboyant persona of the Joker rather than the flesh and blood man behind it. And if you're inclined to look for themes in this film, it's an interesting insight into the intoxicating danger of celebrity and the vast gulf between myth and reality. The two actors play well off each other, and the kind of twisted romance they cultivate seems pretty appropriate for a movie like this, and the film even has you questioning which of their interactions even happened for real. It doesn't do it as effectively as the first movie, but it's something at least. The thing is, I'm pretty sure that the comic version of Quinn was more like the Joker's plaything rather than a manipulative femme fatale stringing him along, but again, it probably fits with what we know about this version of Joker. And I guess that brings me along to my criticisms, the biggest of which is the deconstruction of Arthur himself. The ending of the first movie saw him fully embrace his Joker persona, shedding the last remnants of his old, weak, victimized personality,
and the fucking second movie, it all crumbled down. It all fucking was for naught. It was for nothing.
Embracing the madness of the world.
I'm still upset, just slightly.
World around him. It was a logical endpoint for a man who had been desperately trying to swim against the tide for most of the film, and it was kind of cathartic to see him finally let go. It was a final fuck you to the world that had kicked him to the ground again and again. A world reduced to fire and chaos. All of that good work seems to have been undone here because for most of the film, he's reverted to the same weak, timid Arthur that he was at the start of the first movie. And I can't shake the feeling that there's something almost mean-spirited in that kind of deconstruction, as if they're taking a swipe at the audience themselves for liking someone they weren't supposed to. I don't know, man, it just feels like character regression instead of development for me. Then there's the musical numbers that pepper the narrative. I can't believe I'm saying this because normally I fucking hate musicals, but I actually kind of enjoyed the sheer spectacle and performances while I was watching them. Gay! And Lady Gaga clearly doesn't have any trouble belting out her numbers. But the more I think about it, the more I see them as shiny objects trying to distract from what's actually a pretty stodgy, bloated, and uninspiring drama. The courtroom scenes are basically just a dry recap of the first film, telling us things that we mostly already know, and destroying that awesome sense of ambiguity and unreality that made it such a fascinating story to pick apart. Now we know exactly what did and didn't happen, and shit, man, it feels like such a waste. And most disappointingly of all, I actually find myself kind of bored and checked out at times, something that absolutely never happened with the original movie. As I said before, the question hanging over Joker 2 was, is this a story that really needed to be told, or is it just a bunch of talented people doing their best to elevate a studio-mandated sequel into something that it isn't? Well, now that I've seen it, I'm afraid I know the answer, and it's not a good one. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
I wish he would have just talked about the fucking spoilers. I wish he would have brought up the fucking spoilers, because it's embarrassing how bad this movie was in terms of like trying to get people excited somewhat over the premise. It was just terrible, and I hated every aspect of it. It didn't make me happy. It didn't. Fresh and Fit hate black people. Who's telling me this? We already knew. Is it breeding season for ladybugs? I don't know. All I know for certain is I'm hungry. But before that, I gotta see. I now want to see what EDP is up to. Oh, my bad. The infamous EDP. He's still not fucking banned. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
My nigga Sean P. Diddy Combs.
Oh, no. Yo, nigga. Whoa.
My nigga Sean P. Diddy Combs. A.K.A. my motherfucking main nigga Puff Daddy. You know you fucked up, don't you? Don't you? Don't you? You know you fucked up, don't you, my nigga? You know you fucked up, huh? It's okay, admit it, my nigga. The quicker you admit it, my nigga, the easier it'll be.
I'm gonna have a stroke. Of all people, no. Of all people, really? Like, really? Of all fucking... And again, what the fuck is this face? Bro, nah, I'm about to start having a stroke.
Feel me? You fucked up. I'm over here reading on the motherfucking internet, my nigga, reading online, reading on Google, nigga, that you were selling motherfucking freak-off videos, right? For $500 million.
You know what I heard on the internet about you, buddy? That you were there to pick up a cupcake. But it wasn't a cupcake.
On the motherfucking dark web. $500 million. Then they fucking raided your house and they found over 1,000 bottles of baby oil in your fucking cabinets. Nigga, you wild as fuck, man. Listen, my nigga, like, I'm the type of motherfucker to where if you want to be gay, be gay. If you like fucking men, okay, cool. Fuck guys. I don't give a shit. Why is it in my goddamn business? You know what I mean? You want to fuck guys up the ass. You want to have guys suck your dick. If you want to suck dick, all right, cool, nigga. If you want to chop off your dick and turn into a motherfucking woman, I don't give a shit at the end of the day. But when you start hurting other people,
Johnson & Johnson's stock did drop when Diddy got arrested.
my nigga, and start fucking exploiting motherfuckers, human sex trafficking rings and shit like that, it's like, my nigga, what the fuck, dog? You know, you have to understand, my nigga, that motherfuckers are rats. Motherfuckers are squealers. There's no way in fucking hell that you're going to be able to keep fucking doing this shit and niggas won't find out. Nigga, there's too many leaks, my nigga. You know motherfuckers are gonna snitch. Now, my thing is this, my nigga. Motherfucker, this is a criminal enterprise. You feel me? A criminal enterprise consisting of more than one motherfucker. So, word on the street is that Sean P. Diddy Combs, my nigga, he traveled across seas about maybe a month ago. Correct me if I'm wrong. Traveled across seas and he was naming off motherfuckers. Good for him. Because I'm the type of motherfucker to where, bitch, if I'm involved in some fucking wild-ass, goddamn freaky, kink-ass shit like this, my nigga, and I know damn well I'm not the only nigga involved, all you bitches are coming with me. I'm not taking the rap for this motherfucking shit.
How quaint. Could you, like, take the rap for yourself? Just, like, a little bit? Because, you know, you still, like, notorious for picking up cupcakes and all that shit. Like, cool, I'm so happy for you, but, like, could you take the rap for yourself?
Like, motherfucker, I may be going down, but there's no way in fuck I'm going down alone. You know what I mean? All you niggas is coming with me. Come on, bitch. Come on. You know what I mean? So, and then I'm also hearing that my nigga P. Diddy is on suicide watch. Listen, bro, fuck that suicide shit. Nigga, you fucked up. You know what I mean? You fucked up. Admit that you fucked up, my nigga. You take that motherfucking lick, nigga. You take that life sentence, my nigga. You don't go out like a bitch. You know what I mean? You don't go out like a little fucking pussy, my nigga. You go ahead, nigga. You take that life sentence, nigga. And maybe in the afterlife, nigga, when you come back as a fucking butterfly, my nigga, you won't make the same mistake that you made last time. You know what I mean? Word on the street is that, nigga, you're going to jail with art. Well, fuck jail, nigga. This ain't no fucking jail, bitch. This ain't no pen. This ain't no jail. This ain't the county jail, motherfucker.
EDP got to take his own advice. This is the thing. EDP thinks that he can be the clairvoyant in the room. The problem is EDP is known now. His history is tied to that moment in time. And that's always going to be with him, no matter what. That's sticking with him. And he's not going to be able to get the funk off that one because that is an enormous level of funk that nobody can get rid of. Nobody can get rid of that funk. No. No. And this is honestly, it's embarrassing to watch. It's embarrassing to watch because you know how many people like favored this dude? Like, and his fall from grace is so hilarious that he thought, you know what, let me just keep trying to come back and it'll work. And so far, somehow, this shit has fucking worked. Why has YouTube not gotten rid of this motherfucker yet? They got rid of him before, fast. Why they ain't getting rid of him not fast? Don't worry about it. You know what's crazy? I think he's monetized. That's my theory. I think he's monetized on the platform and he's copping him a few dollars. And you know what? I got nothing to say. How the kids say, that's life.
Okay, this has got, nigga, motherfucker, well, it actually is jail, but you get what I mean. Nigga, when the feds come and get your ass, you feel me? Fuck the police. When the feds come and get your ass, you know you fucked up. You know what I mean? All that trying to run and get away and trying to lie out the shit, fuck all that, nigga. You know what I mean? Nigga, they got you. Which means that they've been building a case against your ass for a while. U.S. Marshal Service, ATF, ICE, and all them motherfuckers, yeah, my nigga, they coming for you. Nigga, they got you. They got you, motherfucker. They have a 97% conviction rate, nigga? You fucked, bro. Unless you can sit back and fucking resurrect Johnny Cochran's bitch ass out the fucking grave, my nigga. You going down. You feel me? Now, word on the street is that you in there with fucking R. Kelly and all them other weird ass, freak ass motherfuckers. Listen, dog. I'm the type of nigga to where if you give me life in prison without the possibility of parole, bitch, I'm doing everything I can to break about that bitch. You feel me?
Yo fat ass not. I'm listening to a motherfucker who played GTA his whole life, and he think this nigga, this not GTA. Oh, I be forgetting. Sometimes I do forget that this is the internet.
Stabbing niggas, I'm shanking niggas, I'm fucking.
The first two comments are bros mad he wasn't invited, and EDP is upset he didn't get invited to Diddy's parties. So yeah, they frying this nigga.
Out and they sleep. I'm doing everything the fuck I possibly can to escape out that bitch. What you gonna do? Capture my ass and add 10 years to my sentence? I'm in this bitch for life, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? So, Sean P. Diddy Combs, nigga, you fucked up, bro. You fucked up big time, man. And my nigga, them wild ass freak off videos, my nigga, that you selling up on the dark web and shit, dude. Listen, man. I don't know what to tell you, nigga. Go ahead and do that motherfucking Fed time, my nigga.
This is not the person I want giving this advice. And why every fucking time I go to this nigga channel, I see top 300 fucking... Stop. Just fucking stop. Answering tough, interesting questions. There are no tough, interesting. There's nothing there that I want to see. There's legitimately nothing there I want to see. Like nothing. Somebody. It wasn't any of you watching right now. Somebody asked me what I thought about Tipster going all like his old friends' streams and what do I think about it. I don't know why the fuck y'all wanted my opinion on that. But congratulations. He got a W over somebody it was easy to get a W over because the consistency and the logic behind a retard constantly fucking making fun of you, knowing full well his skeletons are not as bad, but as dumb. Oh, it's easy to fucking get that philosophical dub, and it wouldn't be difficult for you to get that philosophical dub, and I'm glad he got it. But in terms of him like doing all these streams, that's on all these people he's doing these streams with. This shit ain't got nothing to do with me. And that shit don't affect me. Tipster is a fuck up, and everybody's got their different reason. My reason is he made a joke of mental health and suicide, and I don't play that. And all that passive aggressive when people got his ass under all that stupid ass logic, and he says, "Oh well, that's just your interpretation." No, that's what happened. He got it. He's on his own. Happy he's alive and all that shit. Why are you focusing on these noodles?
I make ramen once a month. Let me show you the next recipe you have to try. To start, we're gonna bring some water to a boil. For today's creation, I recommend using the curry bulldog. When the water starts to argue back, toss in the ramen. Now in a separate bowl, I'm gonna add in some minced garlic. To this, I'm gonna crack in an egg. And then we're gonna go in with a healthy amount of mayo. I am not trolling, I've made a variation of this. It is absolutely amazing, I promise. Next, we're gonna go in with our curry sauce. And because this isn't the spicy one, I'm gonna add in a little sriracha. Time to give this a very strong whisk. And then you wanna add a good amount of that boiling ramen water. As soon as the ramen is done, you want to add it. The heat of the ramen and broth will cook the egg. If you get salmonella, that is your fault, not mine. I warned you. To make this healthy, you're gonna finish off with some rice seasoning and some extra sesame seeds so we could make it past 50. And as always, now bismillah. Bishu, come try the ramen. I need honest opinion, Mashi.
Now bismillah.
Give us a more articulate answer.
I'm not really used to eating ramen like this, but well, it's actually delicious.
If you haven't realized.
This was your ramen noodle video. Are you happy? Are you satiated that this was your ramen noodle video? What is this?
Hey Bears, Eric here, and this wasn't the video.
Why is this so bright? God damn! All these colors.
I was going to make today, but I saw this article pop up as I was scrolling through social media, and I was like, I want to.
You don't know how to use chopsticks? Fucking pansy ass rookie.
Talk about this. This seems incredibly important because there's a lot of information in this article. And so I'm running with this today, and I think it's going to be an interesting discussion. It sort of touches on a lot of things that we've talked about on my channel as well as other podcasts. It touches on subjects that I haven't had full answers for, and I think we get some interesting answers, perspectives in this particular article. So we're going to run through this together. This is from Variety, and I believe it came out today. I think it came out earlier today by Adam Berry. And let's just jump into this. I'm going to read through the article. I think it's important to go through the whole thing. I usually don't do this, but I think it's very important for this article to go through the whole thing. And then I'm going to interject and give my points as we read through here. So buckle up. The article reads, Toxic Fandom, How Hollywood is Battling Fans who are just out for blood, from social media boot camps to superfan focus groups. I think it's funny they use the term fans. I would use anti-fans. BullyTube, GripTube, ScamTube, all of those places. Fans is kind of a word that I don't really associate with these guys anymore. I think you're being very generous, Adam. Most of the people who are still engaging in this content, and what I mean by that, the content they're making for YouTube and social media, are not watching the stuff that they're talking about. They're not really, tuning in every week. They're not going to the movies. I've caught many of them. We talked about Melanie Mack, who has discussed X-Men 97. She wasn't watching that. Star Wars Acolyte. She wasn't watching that. We've had other content creators through the years come out and talk about how they're just not, like Eric July is not reading or watching any Marvel content anymore. So there's a lot of people, they're still making this content. They're not fans. They're not engaging anymore. Okay, so on August 28th, Amanda Stenberg, the lead of Star Wars series The Acolyte, posted an 8.5-minute video. We covered this video on my channel. The video's still up if you want to go check it out. To her Instagram stories about Lucasfilm's abrupt decision not to pick up the show for a second season, just a month after the season 1 finale streamed on Disney+. Yeah, it was really weird. She goes, it was not a huge shock for me.
What do you mean weird? Nigga, viewership-wise, the shit wasn't there. And that is the main factor. Like, I'm sorry. Viewership-wise, the shit ain't up to snuff. That's all that it was. And that's all they would ever need to be. Because, like, you can have a bunch of YouTubers saying this shit trash, but if that shit making record-breaking views and ratings constantly, like with each episode, they making another fucking season. But it didn't. That shit ain't weird. That shit business.
Since the series was announced in 2020, she continued to start experiencing a rampage of, I would say, hyper-conservative bigotry and vitriol, prejudice, hatred, and hateful language towards us. And says that she was unavailable for comment on this story. It's probably because she just knows engaging in this. I'm going to be quite honest. No matter what she says here, she's going to get attacked for it. So it doesn't really matter. I think in her video, she covers everything that she feels about this. And if they're not going to pick up the show, she's probably just like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. I get it. I totally understand. So for me, if she never wants to speak on this again, it wouldn't be a big shock to me, to be honest. But I think a lot of people jumped on this idea that the comments of like hyper-conservative bigotry and vitriol, prejudice, hatred, and hateful language, they weren't really pushing back against that actually happening. They were just saying that she was pretending to be a victim. She was playing a victim here. So it's not like they're attacking or calling out any of the stuff. Look, you can not like the show. You don't even have to like her, but I don't think you have to condone the kind of stuff that was being said about her. And to be quite honest, it's under anything that she posts, anything she says, if comments are available, you're going to find like negative, hateful comments that veer into racism. And it's out there. Just go look at her Instagram. In other words, The Acolyte was the latest high-profile target of toxic fandom, or I would call anti-fans or bullies. I know some people aren't too happy about like the different terms and phrases that we use for these folks, but I call it as I see it. The catch-all term for when a fan criticism curls from good faith dissatisfaction to a relentless, negative, often bigoted online campaign against either the project or its stars or creative leaders. In a franchise economy increasingly dependent upon established audience devotion to drive the bottom line, the threat of toxic fandoms poisoning the enthusiasm has become a seemingly intractable headache for almost every studio, and it's only getting worse. I would say the issue with it getting worse is I'm not victim blaming here, but I think the studios have had a hard time on navigating how to handle this. And
there's no way to handle this. I'm sorry. Like, I get it. You hate the fact that actors and actresses are having to fucking deal with dipshits on the internet. There's nothing they could fucking do. They've put out statements. Actors have put out statements. Business moguls have put out statements. The entire company puts out an open letter saying, yo, don't do this shit. And they still do it. Like, you can't do nothing about it except make a good product, and the people that are going to bitch about it are either going to be wrong or they're going to be right. End of the fucking story. There's nothing else you could do.
It talks about
unless... I'm not going to say it.
More in this article, and I'm going to explain what I mean by that. But I think the studios have done what a lot of people did, which was sort of ignored it, thinking it was going to go away, and that's not actually what happened. Because there is an ecosystem here on YouTube, and I actually blame YouTube a lot for this. I think YouTube has not done enough to mitigate this. They've allowed it to fester. They've allowed it to grow. And you would say, well, Eric, that's cancel culture. It's in their terms of service. If you have an issue with them, with their terms of service, you can take it up with them. But the fact is, they do not enforce their terms of service. I've seen people on social media calling them out, actually sending them videos saying this is literally against your word for word, your terms of service, and they just don't do anything. And who knows what the reason is? I'm not saying YouTube is necessarily siding with like this kind of stuff, but they're certainly not doing anything to mitigate any of the damage that's being done. And that's unfortunate because I think this platform could be better served with actual enforcement of their terms of service. It comes with the territory, but it's gotten incredibly loud in the last couple of years, said a veteran marketing executive at a major studio. People are just out for blood regardless. They think the purity of the first version will never be replaced, or you've done something to upset the canon of the beloved franchise, and they're going to take you down for doing so. Yeah, it's kind of an outrage ownership thing with the fandom. This is why I think it's hard to walk the line with a lot of this, is because you have people that love all the OG stuff, and they're never going to be on board with a reboot or a remake or an alternate version of the stuff they love, because for them, that's just not an option. It's not an option. And trying to please those people while also trying to reinvigorate or reinvent or remake something older, it's almost never going to happen. And this is why I was saying earlier, like, the studios don't really know how to navigate this. And it's probably because you have this, like, butting of heads behind the scenes where you have executives and board of directors are like, just remake Ghostbusters, just remake Transformers, just remake XYZ. And they don't understand the fandoms. And so they don't care or have a way of dealing with some of this like this minor pushback from a smaller portion of the viewing audience. And so it's just more of like an ignore it, it'll go away kind of thing. And again, I don't think that's the solution. Let's continue. Sometimes toxic fandoms behave reactively. A House of the Dragon episode featuring 2 female characters kissing and an episode of The Last of Us focusing on a gay couple were both review bombed, 100%. The practice of mobbing sites like Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb with negative user reviews, which gained mainstream attention following the premiere of 2017 Star Wars The Last Jedi. An entire YouTube ecosystem is devoted to declaring projects like The Marvels and The Boys woke garbage. Yeah, I mean, that's really it. It's really that simple. And this is, again, YouTube's fault. YouTube has allowed this to happen against their terms of service. The videos aren't just them commenting on the quality of the media. They're going after actors. They're going after directors. They're astroturfing content months, sometimes years before it comes out. They're picking up tiny bits of articles, little things, little statements, little quotes, and making entire hate campaigns about something that doesn't matter. A good example, and I'm going to put it up on screen now, are things like this from Star Wars Theory, right? So you have this thumbnail with WTF, him looking at Daisy Ridley with a red down arrow behind her head, which, what does that mean here? What does that mean? You can't change how some men see women. So in the speech bubble, that quote makes sense to me. You can't. There's some portion of the male population that just are not going to see women differently. They've established how they feel about women, and that's how they're going to look at them. And so this is where it becomes a problem. Daisy Ridley loses it. She didn't lose it. So that's completely inaccurate. Says men are the problem. Noticing that he's leaving out the term some men. Like it's just men. It doesn't say some men. It just says men. That changes the entire statement. Because now you've gone from her talking about a portion of a group and make it seem like she's talking about the entire group. He's not very good at this riff thing. Like Nerdrotic, Critical Drinker, they're very good at wordplay, and they kind of go around that. But Star Wars Theory is relatively new to the Chud space. He's new to this bullying, money grift thing. And so he doesn't always get it. It doesn't matter. His fans are going to watch the shit anyway, the ones that are still supporting him. But this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm saying. Like, this isn't talking about the movies or the TV shows. It is a campaign against an actress who doesn't want anything to do with this toxic shit. She clearly doesn't want to be involved in it. She's not on social media replying to people. She's not on Instagram making posts about people. Even then, it's not enough, in my opinion, to make a hate campaign against an actor. But the thing is, they're going after her without her really engaging with them at all. She's responding to questions. She's responding to things that are asked of her. She doesn't care about Star Wars Theory as a person, but he cares very deeply about smearing her, just like so many other people in this space. Let's continue with the article. Just as frequently, the backlash begins before the project has seen the light of day. Absolutely. A Reddit mega thread dedicated to our...
The Boys season 4 was just not good. No. The Boys was always making fun of a certain group of people. You stupid motherfuckers just didn't realize it until one of them fucking executives said something about Trump. I remember that shit like teeth growing. Fuck that. I'm not letting that shit go. Motherfuckers was all on the Boys until one of them fucking producers said something about Trump, and then all of a sudden, oh, the boys always suck. The Boys season 4 is terrible. The Boys no. You can pull that lie somewhere else, not here. You can pull that lie somewhere else. Somebody else will believe you. I clocked that shit to a fucking T. No. I knew the Boys was dog shit. I knew the Boys was making fun of a certain demographic the whole time, and that certain demographic ain't catch on till somebody fucking said, oh my god, Trump bad? Oh, his show sucks.
Outrage over Bridgerton casting a black woman as a love interest for I don't watch the show. Francesca? Not sure. Social media epithets directed at the actors of color cast as elves and dwarves in The Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, death threats aimed at Leslie Jones during the press tour for 2016's Ghostbusters. That's kind of what I remember. Like, we talked about it on the podcast. That's when I kind of remember seeing all of this sort of start, was the Ghostbusters thing. There's a lot of issues with that 2016 Ghostbusters movie.
It was terrible. What do you mean a lot? It was terrible. Like, that's it. Nothing else. It's just bad. All around bad. Bad movie. All around bad movie.
I don't think women being part of that movie was the problem. There were issues with that movie that, regardless of who would have been in those roles, it wouldn't have worked. And that's just my opinion, but a lot of people, I think, would agree with me there. Perhaps the greatest irony of the phenomena is the disproportionate impact these toxic fandoms have relative to their actual number. Thank you for calling that out here. The vast majority of any fandom are casual fans, says John Van Kitters. Interesting. VP of Star Trek brand development, who has been with the storied franchise since the 1990s. The number of people who live and die on their franchises are very, very few, and then those who come after things that they espouse to love with venom are a really, really tiny subset of an already smaller subset of the fandom. It's just much easier to see it now. I don't know that it's really that much broader than things were in 1995. It's just that the bullhorn wasn't there. I've said this so many times. I'm so glad he gets this. The difference between now and then is the way the internet works. Social media. Now, yes, we had things like bulletin boards and messaging and stuff like that back then, but we didn't have anything even remotely close to the impact that YouTube has, the impact that Twitter has, that Reddit has, and all these places have. There was nothing like that comparable to that era. But you can go back, and we've looked at it before, like write-ins to comic books and things like that, where people were still saying this stuff. They just didn't have a platform where they could be hateful and negative and direct it so specifically at someone. Like, it just didn't exist that way. But now any person can pick up their phone, they can get on TikTok, they can get on Instagram, they can get on YouTube, and they can start recording stuff and tagging actors and writers and stuff directly in their content, going after them for jobs that they've taken. And that's really the big difference.
And honestly, I just block all those motherfuckers. Y'all not about to pollute my fucking Twitter account.
For some, combating the bullhorn amounts to acting as if they can't hear it, particularly when it's negative, toxic conversation. We don't even engage as a TV marketing executive. Like, with toxic people, you try and not give it too much oxygen. One principal concern is that reacting to these kinds of attack risk alienating fans who are unhappy with creative choices about a franchise, but haven't tipped over into the abusive behavior. So a studio may attempt to amplify friendlier voices instead, or reply to comments that are positive and to elevate those things. I've got something to say about this here. Still, toxic fandoms have grown so pernicious that they become a fact of life for many, and so powerful that while talent, executives, and publicists will privately bemoan the issue, fear of inadvertently triggering another backlash kept several studios from speaking for this story, even in the background. As one rep put it, it's a lose-lose. It's a catch-22. It's a situation where if you ignore it, it doesn't go away, and if you engage with it, they'll spin it, and then you will look like the bad guy. Because they'll do something like Star Wars, for example, right? So we had all of that racist, misogynistic stuff going on, sexist stuff going on a couple years back, and when they came out and called out the behavior, these groups started saying that, look, Star Wars, these actors, they're attacking us, the fans. They're calling us racist. They're calling us sexist. They're calling us misogynistic. So it's a situation where unless you know exactly how to navigate the space, which is what I was talking about earlier, unless you know exactly how to navigate this.
Leon, this sounds like don't ask questions, just consume product. Yeah. So are you going to? Are you going to consume the product? You should. You should. Because if you don't, bigotry. If you don't consume it, it's bigotry. And how, you don't want to be a bigot, do you? You want to be cool like the rest of us, don't you? You don't want to be a bigot, do you?
The space, you are jumping into it where they are going to spin the narrative in their favor most of the times, no matter what. So it is a catch-22. You can't ignore it, but then when you engage it, you have to be very specific about how you engage it. And even when you do that, like you call out the racist behavior, which is actually happening, they're going to say, well, you're calling all the fans racist. And then the media illiterate community that follows these guys are just going to listen to what they have to say. That's the unfortunate reality. Those who did talk with Variety all agreed that the best defense is to avoid provoking fandoms in the first place. I don't think that's going to matter. I think they are perceiving these communities as rational individuals, and most of them are not. Most of them are not rational, and most of them are doing it for money, which means that this kind of, like, this approach isn't going to work either. In addition to standard focus group testing, studios will assemble a specialized cluster of superfans to assess possible marketing materials for a major franchise project. I do not like art by committee. This feels like censorship. Don't like that. They're very vocal, says the studio exec. They will just tell us if you do that, fans are going to retaliate. These groups have even led studios to alter the projects. If it's early enough and the movie isn't finished yet, we can kind of make those kinds of changes. So in other words, you're taking all of the unique elements that may be a vision of the person making the film, and you're saying, we're not going to do that because we are so worried about like 5% of the fandom being loud and hateful. All right. Several studio insiders say they often put their talent through a social media boot camp in some cases when a character is intentionally challenging a franchise's status quo.
Oh, you're right up there with Melanie Mac. You're boring me. I don't want to be bored. What else I got? I told y'all, my fucking algorithm is a lot of fucking food now. My algorithm has turned into a lot of fucking food. Did Devontae Adams get traded yet? I gotta fucking see. I gotta keep my eyes on that. I gotta make sure this motherfucker doesn't go where I don't want him to go. Cool with trade rumors. Isn't the only receiver who might get traded. Fuck that. I need that shit confirmed. If he don't get traded in these next 2 days, he definitely getting traded next week. I just want that motherfucker. I just don't want that motherfucker going to the Saints. Come on, Raiders. Don't make a dumb decision. And if you make the decision, make the Saints pay for it. Get Alvin Kamara. Cost these motherfuckers. Steadfast. APEC. Hold the Rocky. I just need that motherfucker out of there. I'd be happy if one of these motherfuckers go down. I'd be happy. I just need that organization to lose key players in order to make shit stick. It'll be a better outcome for me. I think I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. Goodbye! Oh, I'm still streaming on YouTube.